Good morning. It's Saturday, the 21st of July,
Before that,
2018. Or
before
not.
that, before that, ladies and gentlemen, members of the listening community, apologies for the delay and technical difficulties and whatnot. This is your announcer speaking. We apologize for the delay. Hope you are now sit down and have your headphones, earbuds, earphones all covered over your ears. And let's settle in for another episode of Shooting the Breeze.
Yes. Wow. You're in a good mood this morning.
I have to be. I have to be.
I
know. I have to be in a good mood.
I know.
I'll say it out. I'll say it forthcoming. I'm sorry for the radio silence for the past week or so. Especially during the 3 days or 2 days leading up to the weekend, had to deal with the passing from with a friend and all that. So there's that. Someone close to a friend of ours, close to ours, died, passed away, and we had to deal with that. However, we need to deal with. So.
Wasn't he from college?
Yeah, he was a good friend of mine from college. He was a good friend of a lot of us from college. So,
wow.
Yeah.
My condolences to you and to his family.
Thank you. I'll pass it on. I always have to pass it on. But in any case, I'll quickly scoot over. I'll try and quickly scoot over to that fact. But then again, we actually have to deal with the fact that there's a lot of shit happening this weekend.
Yes.
Well, not this weekend, but
it
totally this weekend.
It started after we went off the air last Saturday, actually.
Oh, yeah, really?
With the passing of Masa Saito.
Yep.
One half of Tokyo Express during the time he was in WWF. And managed by Fuji, I believe. More famously known for being part of the infamous tandem that lifted and threw a boulder through a Waukesha, Wisconsin McDonald's, him and Ken Patera. Plus, he's also known for the Deserted Island match between him and Antonio Inoki that lasted over 2 hours.
The great Antonio Inoki had a abandoned island fight.
Yeah, Deserted Island fight.
Deserted Island fight.
That sounds like something DDT Wrestling would do.
DDT Pro. Right, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I won't blame the ideas. So there's that. Oh well. For most of you who didn't really know, most of the passing came along at a rather surprising shill for us. I mean, Saito passing is a big deal over here. I hope it is a big deal over there.
Well, I know I didn't know until Monday Night Raw when WWE put a graphic up when the show started that in memory of Masa Saito. I was like, holy hell. I didn't know. I did not know until then. It was not something that was public.
Yeah, because I think the only one of the infamous things that he did, like what you said, was he was known for the high-profile crime he committed in Waukesha. That's one.
Well, whoa! Legends level will get all over you. It's pronounced Waukesha.
Waukesha. Okay, thank you. I'm not. I'm a gaijin staying here for about 30 years now. 29.
Yes, I know.
28 years now. So apologies if I get some pronunciations of the countries and states and whatnot.
That's fine, but I had to correct you because I know I would get a message from her. She would say it's Waukesha, damn it, and she would put out WAWKASHAW is how it's pronounced.
All right. I got it. Okay, I learned my lesson now. But yeah, like I said, he was known for that high-profile crime he did. But aside from that, he did a couple of things. He competed in the 1964 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, of course. He made a name for himself in this squared circle over his 30-plus career, dividing himself between two countries, Japan and the United States. So that.
Yeah, he wrestled AWA, NWA, and WWF during his times here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
and of course New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. So.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the passing of Brickhouse Brown.
Yep.
From prostate cancer.
I'm surprised that you haven't heard a peep about this.
I missed it. If it was out there, I missed it, and I apologize to his family for that. You know, he's in my age group.
57. Yeah. He passed away.
He's only 3 years older than me. He was only 3 years older.
Yeah, he's around. Yeah, but you can say that. Yeah, he is around your age.
Don't know how. I didn't even. When you told me this, I was like, "What?" I didn't even know he had prostate cancer until I went and looked. I was like, "Holy hell!"
Yeah, because I was doing, like I said, I was doing research for. I was doing just research and light reading and light researching for AWA, USWA, and the CWA, just to get more information.
Oh, for what? Just to have knowledge.
Yeah, just to have more knowledge, with increase more knowledge in my end. Because yeah.
I wonder if your appearance on Connoisseurs of Wrestling has something to do with that.
Hey, I have to. I mean, comparing myself to both you or maybe Biff or maybe even Legends Lover or maybe even some heads, some bang.
Don't forget George. I mean, he's an encyclopedia.
Some knowledgeable heads like George, Kane Knight, or Fizz for that matter. I'm still relatively an open book. I mean, I'll say it out loud. I'll say it proud. Yeah, I am a wrestling fan, and I know some of the stuff that I am saying, but I still need to do some reading and some research.
Well, when it comes to anything Japanese wrestling, you're the guy to go to.
Yeah, but then again,
you know more about that than I do.
Yeah, but then again, yeah, and then again, comparing my own knowledge of Japanese wrestling to guys like say Chris or maybe even George for that matter too, or even Fizz for that matter too. I'm still trying to catch up with some of them, some of the guys there.
Yeah.
But like I said, but yeah, a little bit of light researching and just light getting more knowledge of the old school wrestling promotions isn't that bad.
Well, and another thing that I've recently started on the daily is that I put out a match of the day now.
Oh.
And it could be something from 50 years ago, or it could be something from last month.
Oh,
it just depends on what trips my trigger and what gets my attention as I scroll through YouTube. So keep your eyes open for that. And there's no set time for it to come out. It's whenever I am coherent enough to watch. Because right now I'm functioning on about 7.5 hours of sleep in the last 48.
Wow. Okay. rough few days of working.
Well, no, I was off yesterday, so I was going to spend most of the day awake.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh, well.
We also had a AAA Star Pass. And I forgot the name now, damn it.
Who was it again? Oh my goodness.
Crap.
I think it's Rhea. Shit. Let me just check. I know this from the. Okay, here we go. We got the dude. No, he's actually a legend. So he's a Mexican professional wrestler from AAA. He's Rayo de Jalisco Senior.
Yeah.
Real name, actual name Maximino Max Lenares Moreno. So yeah.
Yeah, and he
passed.
He passed away as well. I mean, so yeah, it happens in threes in the business, as it does with everything else. So
which is surprising in and all of itself, to be honest with you.
I mean, whoever's putting the promotion, whoever's putting the Heaven Wrestling Federation together is drafting some wonderful talent right now.
Yep. The promoter there, the promoter and the booker there is going to have a wonderful time just booking these people. Who's going to go up? Who's going to go up? Who's going to go?
Yeah, who's going to go over? Who's going to be the heel? Who's going to be the face? And lest we forget, every seat at those matches is front row.
Oh, of course, every seat. Especially if you're trying, even if you're trying not to find a front row seat, you're definitely going to get front row seat.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
There's that. And then we have to go into the world of Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Sinatra's wife of over 50 years, she passed away yesterday, was it not?
Yeah, yesterday.
At the age of 101.
Yeah.
When you first said the name, I thought it was his daughter, and she's only like 78 now.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, well, she's young. And then I went and did some looking, and I'm like, oh, it's the wife. Okay.
It's the wife. It's the wife. Don't worry, it's the wife. I mean, it surprised me because I didn't think that Sinatra's wife still is going strong at about 100. But I didn't. Then afterwards, I found out that okay, so she finally passed. That's a condolences in and all of itself. So.
Yeah, so it's
there's a lot of people. Oh, of course, I have to say this because this is on my side of the country anyway. This is on my end. So, our former Ministry of Environment passed too.
Jeez. The former Minister of Environment. Wow, it's just been a rough 14 days.
Yep.
And we have forgotten one thing.
Yeah.
30 years ago this week.
30 years ago this week.
One Frank Goodard.
Frank Goodard.
Better known as Bruiser Brody, was murdered in Puerto Rico in a shower.
Oh yes, of course.
By one Hugo Gonzalez, a wrestler and booker.
I think it's
who was acquitted using the defense of self-defense.
I don't believe it for a second.
I don't believe it for a second either.
It's a loss. It's a loss. I mean, how many years has it been now? 30, I think?
30 years, and the truth still hasn't come out. Although there was a reaffirmation to Gonzalez to keep his mouth shut, I think, anyway. When there was a house fire at his house in 2014 that destroyed his car and a motorcycle and over 3/4 of his home.
Ooh.
Whoever was involved in the cover-up is telling him, reminding him, don't even think about it because we can get you too.
Jeez. Goodness.
Yeah, and that's why there was such a big stink. Now I'm beginning to understand why there was such a big thing about Carlos Colon, who owned World Wrestling Council, still does own World Wrestling Council for that matter.
Yeah.
The promotion he was working for at the time. Why there was such a big stink about him going into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Because he had I don't know the odds and ends or the truth of the matter. Like we said, the truth hasn't really come out yet, but he still has the stink on him. Even if he doesn't, even if truth be told, he doesn't have any involvement at all. 100%, he's not into it at all. He's still gonna have the stink on him because he's associated, be it directly or indirectly. So
yes,
he's still.
He's got the stigma attached to him because the man died in his promotion.
Yes.
And basically, he was stabbed and bled to death. And more information has come out that he had taken several aspirin, which is a blood thinner, because he was due to bleed in a match. So between that and the paramedics taking over 90 minutes to arrive and carry him out, he died at the hospital.
Yeah. Which again,
and then the trial went off, and the American witnesses did not get the subpoenas for American witnesses were not mailed until after the trial was over.
Jeez.
So there's a lot of things wrong with this whole thing.
Yep, there's a lot of things wrong.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm someone who does not normally speculate. However, there's a massive cover-up between the government, Carlos Colon, WWC, and everything else involved. And eventually, I'm hoping that someday, whether it be in my lifetime or yours, MDS, that the truth does come out.
Oh, we'll definitely have to see. We will definitely have to see on that one. Before I forget as well, to those of you who are movie buffs, again, there's another passing as well on the 19th. If you are a fan, or if you're a huge fan, as I am, of Seven Samurai, or say Rashomon and I Live in Fear, you definitely knew that the Japanese screenwriter Shinobu Hashimoto passed away at the age of 100. Yep.
Wow. I love the movie
guy
Seven Samurai. That was a good movie.
Yeah, the guy who wrote Seven Samurai. If you guys don't know what the hell is Seven Samurai, geez, you really
very
need to watch
simple.
it.
Very simple. A very simple analogy. Take that. Go and look up. There were 7 gunfighters, and it was with Yul Brynner.
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven. That's basically the American version, which is turned into a Western of the Seven Samurai.
Yes. And I'm actually impressed that you knew about that. Yeah.
I know some history. I know some movie history.
Yeah.
Because I love the movie The Magnificent Seven. I actually did.
Me too. I enjoyed the whole thing.
I've never seen Seven Samurai though. Would love to someday.
It's a great movie. Yeah. I mean, if you want to see the original iteration of the Magnificent Seven, the old Western Magnificent Seven, not the even though the new iteration of Magnificent Seven isn't that bad, it's actually quite good. It's actually great. Even I think I enjoyed that one too. I watched both of them anyways. Seven Samurai has a lot of hidden messages, and did a lot of things right in that time of era, and go watch it in its pure form without the subtitles, I think. Because
wasn't it a Tosawa movie?
Yeah, it's a Kurosawa movie actually.
Kurosawa, yeah, I knew it was something Sawa. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for getting it wrong, because I know
it's okay.
Kurosawa was a great movie director and producer in Japan in his time.
Yes. He is. And it's not I mean, it's not how to say, it's if you watch both of the movies of the Magnificent Seven and its iteration, if you watch the Seven Samurai, you knew almost exactly where the inspiration came from. You can actually tell, you can actually guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, but again, sad to say,
Kurosawa was highly flattered that the United States actually took one of his movies and made it, even though it was changed to a Western, that it basically followed the entire script almost perfectly.
Yep, almost perfectly.
There were some things that just could not be done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but then again, sadly to say, yeah, Shinobu Hashimoto, one of the screenwriters of it, alongside, I think it was Hideo Oguni and Kurosawa himself. The guy is 100 years old, passed away from pneumonia. So
basically drowned.
Basically drowned. So, in a sense, basically drowned. So, well.
Sad.
It's sad.
But it's just like I said, it's been a rough couple of weeks.
It is. It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Anyway, enough with the Black Parade.
Enough with the Black Parade. Yes, enough with the Black Parade. What else do we have on our plates today? Oh, what else do we have on our plates today? We watched. We have Extreme Rules.
I didn't watch. I watched a few highlights. No, I didn't watch.
Okay, understandable.
I heard it was an absolute abortion, about as bad, if not worse, than Judgment Day 2003, which I helped Metal Met go over yesterday on Ruthless Aggression podcast, and I was very disappointed in that match, in that whole thing. Oh my God!
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, you think the booking in 2018 is bad? You should go look at Judgment Day 2003. It's like the writers and creative team from this era went back in time and broke that show because it was a abortion.
Please don't remind me on that one. Just please.
It was an abortion.
It was definitely an abortion, but I'll let
that
my
failed.
I'll let my expert friend in TakersMinion and the sound mind of Metal Matt convince me on those points of view anyway, because I'm sure that they have been dissecting the whole thing left and right and center and from all angles. But hey,
yes, we did.
But hey,
this is back in the time that John Cena was heel.
Oh yeah. Okay, no. Defense on John Cena. I kind of like. I enjoyed John Cena being a heel back then. From a much younger, more bias-free version of of MDS. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole Doctor of Thugonomics phase of John Cena, who is a heel and talks in rap.
Yeah,
somehow. But yeah, I'll say Judgment Day. Judgment Day was a little bit, how to say, crazy in a sense.
Yeah, I was like,
but
I gave it a C- D+ rating.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I think it's
there were two or three high points, and they were all backstage stuff for the most point. And one of them was the Mr. America and Helms vignette in the back.
Okay.
Where Helms is saying to Hogan, quotes, air quotes here, people, air quotes.
Oh, air quotes. Air quotes, yeah, okay.
There is rumor, my source says that you
have sources?
Mr. America, you are Hulk Hogan, and Mr. American Hulk Hogan, air quotes, says to him, well, my sources say you are a undercover superhero known as the Hurricane.
Ooh. Oh.
And that kind of just like put everything to sleep. It was great.
It was great.
And then there were several segments up in the skybox where Stone Cold Steve Austin and Eric Bischoff was, which culminated in basically Eric Bischoff, quote unquote, puking his guts out because he had too much beer.
Not to laugh on people who are have a weak stomach, especially whenever they drink, whatnot.
I think what put him over the edge was the order of buffalo wings, and you know how strong that stuff smells.
You'd be surprised. I've had tasted buffalo wings before. No more. There's no more.
It will get you.
It will get me. Yeah. I mean, if I were given the choice of wasabi and buffalo wings, I'd happily take wasabi.
I'll tell you what, I love me some wasabi.
Me too.
Man, they don't make it here anymore, but damn, they had a wasabi that was a wasabi mayonnaise over here. Oh my God, I loved it. I was like, whenever I saw it, I would buy it, even though, because it was not something popular. But have that with some nice roast beef or even some roast pork sandwich. Oh my God.
I mean, I'm not dishing out against it, not at all, because I enjoy its dash of wasabi and mayonnaise. Because anything mixed with, I don't know what I don't know what it is, and this is a small tangent and small segue, but I don't know what it is. But Japanese mayonnaise and any kind of Japanese condiments like fish flakes, soy sauce, or even some sprinklings of seaweed. Those things taste great. I can't explain why. Even though you want to convert me to take regular mayonnaise, I don't know.
I've never said that you should try regular mayonnaise. I'm just saying I'm a Miracle Whip guy, but if the mayonnaise has got wasabi in it, oh, I'll eat it forever.
Oh, okay.
And the thing about it is that they made it and it had the chunks of wasabi in it. It wasn't just the flavor. No, it was actual chunks of wasabi horseradish. And it's like, oh God, I just died and went to heaven. I just died and went to heaven. Ha ha. The angels sang all that stuff. Ha
ha. Okay. Fine. Fair enough. I mean, okay, I understand that you're not going to how to say convince me that no, you're not supposed to eat that kind of mayonnaise. You're gonna have to try regular mayonnaise. No, we have our taste, but again, there are some things that are actually quite good that we can agree on.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, anyhow, back away from food. Back to Extreme Rules. I mean, sure, food was what? Food was distracting in and all of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. You say that this is a bit of a crap show or just a average show. If you want to go more professional.
Well, you talking about Extreme Rules, or are you talking about
Extreme Rules? I'm not talking about Judgment Day.
Well, from what I gathered by looking at highlights and listening to the internet, it was in the famous words of General Gino Morasco, what a stupid show.
What a stupid show. Okay.
We have a visitor.
Wait, we do? We do? Oh, yes. We do. Okay.
We do.
We do.
Mr. Biff Kensington, good morning, sir.
Morning, guys. How are y'all today?
I'm good.
I heard that drop in enthusiasm in your voice, Doc, so I appreciate that.
I have a reason why, and it's not you. Don't worry, Biff. It's not you. I'm being honest. It's not you today.
If you listen to the first 20, 25 minutes, you'll understand why.
Well, I came in time to hear you talking about food and sounding like you needed some private time, but
wasabi mayonnaise.
Got a Tim Allen thing going on.
Really? Really? Just right. Right, my friend. Just right. I mean, but then again, this week, or even this day is not you, Biff. I have a reason why.
Yes.
Don't worry, kind sir. It's not you.
It's okay. I'll only take partial offense. It's all good.
Partial offense?
There's no need to take any offense, Biff.
It's gonna be hard to phase me today. I'm pretty excited this morning. I've got some very good news I'm looking forward to sharing.
So. Are you going to share it now, or are you going to share it?
Share it now.
I'm actually going to meet one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. Yes, I am going to meet Magnum TA in a couple of weeks.
Wow.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
Very
please,
much. Already ahead of you.
Okay, you've got me salivating here.
I'm already ahead of you.
You got him in the vapors already. I think you got him in the vapors now.
I could tell. Yeah, I'm already ahead of you on that front. I get to meet Magnum TA here in a couple of weeks. He is going to be part of the unveiling of a brand new store locally near where I live, and so I'm going to get a chance to meet him in person. That's the first time I ever got a chance to, so that would be pretty exciting.
You know who's going to be jealous as all hell? Biff?
Who?
LL. She was a huge mark for him. Huge.
It's part of my plan to win her over, dude.
Uh-huh.
You're still going over the fact that I am still trying my best to get LL.
It's all part of the plan.
LL's gonna have serious vapors when that goes down.
Well, I'm hoping that I can.
You can tell her next week, or you can tell her next episode, next show, or just later on. I think. Who knows?
The worst that he could say is no.
Well,
yeah, the worst thing.
Well, I'm gonna try and snag a picture with him. I can at least get a picture.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you get an interview, that's even better. But yeah, I'm saying, Jesus, the worst he can say about the interview is no.
Yeah,
but I don't think he will.
Especially if I pay him for it.
I'm not asking you.
I'm
not asking you to.
You don't have to. Hell, I'm willing to drop $20 for an interview for a guy that freaking is a legend in this area. So
yeah. Agreed.
Wow.
But
I bet Cage Side Seats would love that. That would be something that a lot of people at Cage Side would love to check out. Would be an interview with Magnum TA because he's definitely got some name value.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. You can't blame people for getting excited if you get one of the all-time legends going into your show.
See, Doc, now you're not so damn depressed about me coming on, are you?
No, I'm still more or less a little bit okay, a little bit mellow on the time.
Mm-hmm.
I figured I would bring in your favorite guy to try to cheer you up some.
Fine, I'll take. He can take the credit.
Because the minute he hit the room and he started talking, you started laughing. That's all I needed. My day's complete.
Fine. He can take the credit for making me laugh.
You know, it's important, man.
I was going to take the credit one way or the other. So that's fine.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about Extreme Rules again.
Ugh.
We need a lot of positivity on this one. Although, I
don't even think the New Day can say the positivity from that thing.
I'll make you a pact. I'll make y'all a pact. Any comment I have about Extreme Rules, it will be positive. I will find something positive to say about every match, even if I have to stretch for it.
Okay. I'm surprised that you're saying that because I'm surprised that you're going to say that because I was about to say, to be honest with you, I actually found things to enjoy from bits of Extreme Rules.
I'd agree with that. There were some moments. I mean, not every match was bad or anything. It's like there were good matches on the show.
There were good matches on the show. They were good matches that pushed forward their individual storylines. However, those good matches in the card itself did not lead to a competent score on Extreme Rules itself. Because there's a lot of things that you'd question about, such as why would WWE Creative get to a questionable decision of putting Sin Cara versus Andrade Almas in the pre-show when I thought that the match was great.
Why would they put Bludgeon Brothers and New Day on the pre-show?
Oh no, they didn't. They did not. I think they didn't.
Oh, no, New Day Insanity, the tables match on the pre-show.
The tables match.
Yes.
The Sanity versus New Day, not Bludgeon Brothers versus Team Hell No. And I have a lot to say about Team Hell No and Bludgeon Brothers. I mean, these two men. Okay. Talking about both of the pre-shows, I believe that the singles match was better than the pre-show tables match. Even though the pre-show had no Extreme Rules whatsoever. I mean,
We have a new visitor.
Was that the NBC now?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Please remain in your seats.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now joined by One-Winged Angel from K-Side Seats. Good morning, Angel.
The angel has landed. Good morning, everyone.
Or Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's one giant leap for mankind.
Yeah.
Why? Is Jimmy not part of the mankind?
So, MDS, I brought two of your favorite guests on board today.
This has been.
I have a lot of favorite guests. Okay. I have a lot of favorite guests.
God, I love how that gets everybody's attention when I play that NBC chime.
So I hope we get some breaking news, during the course of the show.
I got that one too. You don't want me to play that. No.
Really? Do you want to play the whole? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special announcement to make. Sorry for the interruption for yourself. What kind of shit like that? Jeez, Louis.
Oh my.
Okay. This is good. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. More people in my podcast means more people in my podcast. That's it.
Yeah. Very astute observations here.
Yes, of course. Of course, I need you guys' astute observation, considering the fact that yes, I am still talking about Extreme Rules.
Oy.
Yeah.
But.
And I'm still in the process of talking about the pre-shows. Two of the matches on the pre-shows. I'd say that the singles match is actually better than the tables match between the tag teams.
I'd agree with that. It was a really good match. It was a scary spot where Almas and Sin Cara almost got hurt on the apron, but I mean, outside of that, the singles match was, I think, just as good on the pre-show as it was on SmackDown before the show.
I'd agree with that. I mean, it pushed the narrative that Almas had the slight bit of overconfidence, in one of the moments where he posed in his Tranquilo pose, and that somehow motivated Sin Cara. So there's that. And then when he realized that, I am in such deep shit, he had to rely on Zelina Vega to motivate Almas back again. So there's that. I mean, it's not as clean as last week's. I think the week before Extreme Rules, in a heck of a barn burner by both men again on a SmackDown show. It wasn't up to that kind of par, but still, it's a good satisfying match because these two men have such good in-ring chemistry. So, what is that? My nitpick on the pre-show table match is that it had enjoyable moments. It had strong action and impressive spots on. It had strong, impressive spots. The action was strong as well, but that's just about it. You only have that kind of individual moments. Those individual moments gathered together does not add up to a quality match, especially with the talent involved.
Well,
I mean, go ahead.
Who's the leader of Sanity now? That's Eric Young, right?
Yeah.
He's the one that's holding that group back. At least that's what I'm understanding.
Oh,
that's what I've been hearing.
I think he holds a place. I don't know if he should be the centerpiece, but they're definitely in NXT. He had his meaning for being the one because nobody had heard of anyone else. So, plus he just looks insane. So
just looks insane.
So
they need
beneficial part of it.
What they need to do is they need to reunite him and Bobby Roode to bring back Beer Money.
No. Beer Money was him and James Storm.
And Bobby Roode was involved in it for a while too. If you go back and check your history, buddy.
You mean Eric Young?
No, I meant that Bobby Roode and James Storm was Beer Money.
Yeah.
Right. But they also had Eric Young involved in it.
Really? You did?
Well, I hope to never see Bobby Roode with those long locks again, though.
Yeah, I agree. Bobby Roode with short hair is actually good.
He looks better short hair.
He looks better. He looks better short hair. Yeah. But anyway, I think that's the. But again, these two matches should have been on the main card, not the pre-show. Disregarding the whole other matches that are or was in the match itself. Let me touch on one. The Raw Tag Team Championship match between the Deleters of Worlds versus the B Team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It happened.
We all saw it coming.
Did you? Did you?
Do I need to remind you? I called it last week and said, I see the B Team walking away with it.
It was pretty apparent. It was pretty apparent. The way that they were being focused.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, you could see that coming 1,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it was a different team that was holding the gold, maybe I wouldn't feel that way about a challenger. But the Deleter of Worlds were just going into there with a whimper. There was just nothing going. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. They just didn't have anything for them, but...
Somehow they don't have anything going on for them. So yeah. I mean, my whole spiel is that I did not expect that to happen. But again, going through the notes, you know that the whole Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas is going on a path of so-called redemption story.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then that redemption story, air quotes redemption story.
We have someone else.
I have breaking news.
That's your whole spiel. I have breaking news. Come on,
I have breaking news. Yes, I do.
Be more professional, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry for the.
I could have said Hososeki.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? No.
That the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff. There is rumors, and Matt is teasing a reunion with Jeff.
Sure.
I think we're stretching the definition of breaking news here, just a little bit.
I think so. You're stretching this breaking news thing a little bit too.
Hey, this is one of the days. This is one of the days that we need to be off the cuff and have some fun.
So someone was just waiting for an excuse to play the NBC breaking news theme.
Yeah.
Well, I could have played. Okay, fine. I'll find something else to use. Want to play that? Fine.
I'm gonna die.
Doc, I got a second. I got a second on yours. I was not expecting the tag titles to change hands here.
Okay, I didn't. Which I did too.
Yeah, I thought that it was almost a guarantee the Deleters of Worlds were going to win because, the B team had picked up how many straight wins over Matt Hardy on television?
None.
No, didn't the B team win like 5 or 6 matches?
Yeah, they had.
Yeah,
they were on a roll.
Yeah, so they won everything on TV building up, so you would have thought when Bray Wyatt comes back that the B team kind of collapses a little bit. But, I mean, I will say that it was definitely a shocking title change for me. And
it was. You don't expect the B team to actually win. We thought that in reverse momentum psychology theory, courtesy of WWE itself, we thought that they're going to lose because they had 2 wins on the trot. I think 2 wins, or was it just 1? I think it was 2, right?
At least 2. At least
2 wins on the trot. And of course, they're going to successfully, Deleters of Worlds are going to successfully defend the title. But no, WWE is pulling the rug and the carpet and the dust from over our eyes and just, nope, we are giving the title to the B team.
Well, here's a question. I need clarification. When I said that I was going to say something positive about every match, does that mean that I have to keep my negative thoughts to myself, or can I bring the negativity in?
Yeah. let's okay. I'll rephrase the whole negativity as you being nitpicky. Let's do that.
Go for it, Biff.
This is not negativity. This is not nitpicky. This is a serious.
I think we can rephrase it to nitpicky for this day. We just.
Well, what I was going to bring up in all seriousness, the tag team division on both shows right now is a dumpster fire.
I think
let's just recognize a fact here that there's a serious problem with the women's division and how it's been used, and the tag division how it's been used, and the B team holding the tag titles. I have nothing but love for Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. I'm so glad that they're getting their moment in the sun.
Of course not, because I hate to. I'm sorry to cut you off. Of course not, because these two guys have been total pros for years.
Yeah,
even though we give them so much shit about what they're doing.
Well, I'm glad. Like on a personal level, I'm glad that they're getting their moment because everybody deserves to have a moment.
Their time on the spot. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not speaking as a fan here, like someone that's looking at a qualitative. As a qualitative, decision as a fan, I hate this call. But as a human being, I recognize this is a big deal for them. It's a big deal for their families. It's something that's, you can't be too mad at it, but it does speak to the problems in the tag division when a comedy team like the B team can take the titles off of another essential comedy team in the Leaders of Worlds, and it just feels so insignificant. There's just no buzz in either women's division or tag division outside of maybe Ronda Rousey on the Raw women's side right now.
Oh, of course.
So, but it was an interesting title change. So there's my good comment for that match.
Okay. Jimmy, anything to add, or do you have any of your opinions too?
I think it was par for the course. I assume that they were getting ready to split off Bray and Matt, because it just, I don't know. I don't think it ever clicked how they were anticipating. If they even were anticipating, or if they just thought, "Oh, we'll just throw these two weirdos together." But
two weirdos together, okay. I like the connotation of that one. Yeah, let's put two weirdos together.
WWE logic, but
a scary thought.
WWE has logic.
Do they have logic? Surprising.
Yes.
As for the match, I don't even remember much about it. I watched it, but I don't know.
Surprising. WWE has logic. No soy food for you.
I put enough
MSG kill an elephant.
I put enough MSG in that food to kill elephant.
Sure, why not? Why not? Okay. Enough of that, man.
Go ahead. Gone off the rails, but
it's not my fault today.
No, there's an inside joke between the three of us. That's MDS, myself, and Angel about that.
Oh, well, I don't like to be left out.
Boy, come here.
Big boy. Are you?
You make special wontons for you.
Oh dear.
It's Lord Toranaga's buffet line.
We got it, Lord Toranaga-sama.
Lord Toranaga-san.
No, Thomas Toranaga-sama. Damn it. If you're going to call me by my name, then Takan Toranaga-sama. You must commit debacle.
Okay, enough speaking of Toranaga-sama. I still need to talk about Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin.
Okay.
If I may, I have one comment about the pre-show. I didn't watch the singles match, but I watched the tables match. And I don't know if it's just me, but I don't feel a place anymore for tables matches.
Oh.
I don't know. Something about it was just completely lacking for me. Any kind of I can't think of the word, like intensity or suspense almost. Even though it's probably one of the more suspenseful kind of finishes, it just, I don't know. It had its heyday, but I think they've kind of, gone to the wayside, in my opinion. Maybe it's just because it was a pre-show match, and usually tag team table matches are kind of clusters. But I don't know. I haven't enjoyed a table match in I don't know how long.
Okay.
They feel kind of incomplete given the rise of like TLC matches and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, they're definitely missing something. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there.
No worries. It's a good opinion. It's a good opinion, and it's a good point of view to consider. Anyway, Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin.
I know what my positive comment for this match is.
Go for it.
Finn Balor made me Randy. Woo-wee.
Run that by me. I missed something here.
Why?
Oh, Lord.
Why?
Why? Did you not see him? My God, the man's abs are glistening.
I want to avoid the whole obvious thing, but okay, I think you're touching on the most obvious thing then.
I'm sorry, did I stutter? I was like, was this a big revelation? I mean...
No, you did not stutter. I know you did not stutter. So, but okay, fine, fair enough. I'm not holding your opinion against you or anything. Okay, Finn Balor made you Randy. Okay, cool. This doesn't involve Randy Orton, isn't it? No. Okay.
I'm a fan of Finn Balor in multiple ways.
Especially pictures of his ass with bruises.
No, not. Well, you had me at first.
You left that door open.
Gracious.
You left that door open a crack, and I kicked it all the way open.
He wrestled a match in New Japan against somebody. I don't remember who, but the guy had a penchant for pulling his tights down below his ass. And so I was going to say, Finn Balor's ass, yes. Finn Balor's bruised ass, no.
Okay.
I want to doctor it back to health.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll let's just scoot over that kind of obvious explanation.
Good luck getting back on track after that, assholes.
Yes, I have to. I have to. And I hope this doesn't surprise you guys or anything, but I actually kind of enjoyed the match, Finn Balor and Baron Corbin. And the whole silence saying that
I have every right to be silent because I don't know.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not for you.
Gentlemen, I didn't watch, so
I thought it was a good match. Baron Corbin is very underrated as a big man. He's not the greatest big man, but he definitely has his strengths in the ring. Yeah, he has his moments.
He has his moments.
Constable character's really kind of become a staple for him. He's kind of found his groove, I think.
Yeah.
That role.
Yeah, I mean, he was on offense 99% of this match, so it was, he could have either made it deplorable or at least make it, enjoyable. And he was given the chance, and he did it, so.
Well, the only thing I don't like about Corbin, and this is, he has this. It's the same moveset every freaking match.
Well, yeah.
Throw him towards the corner. No, I slide out, come out the other side, clothesline your ass.
There's no doubt that he's still green. I mean,
no doubt, yeah.
He definitely got promoted far before he was ready. I still think.
I agree.
But
Matt's the move set, that's more of a WWE problem as a whole, as opposed to just a Corbin thing, though. I
think so. I believe so. Yeah. It's more WWE trying to say put a more safer and a more a safer and a more easier to do moveset than.
Whoa. Hososeki. How can you say a more safer moveset when the people they're bringing up are so freaking green that they're more dangerous than they are safe.
Okay, do you want to put these people who are green, as you say, you want to put these people who are green in the ring with high risk maneuvers and risk their own safety and the other competitor's safety in the ring? In such a huge company, in such a huge publicly traded company that that measures every single mistake to a finite degree, to a minute degree, for that matter, too.
That's why
I'm not trying to dispute your opinion or anything, but I just want some clarification. Who of the recent call-ups do you think is like dramatically, like discernibly unsafe?
Okay, I should change that.
Okay.
Yes, green. Dangerous, perhaps not. But the thing about it is that you're sending them to the main roster, and it's already been said here, not properly prepared for being there. Their skill set and their move set is not polished enough to be there. Prime example, Lana.
Okay.
Carmella.
The heck?
Okay, who the hell's that?
Was that the West Wing
Not
theme?
me. Oh, no.
Is it you?
Was that the West Wing theme?
Yeah, I thought it was the West Wing theme.
I thought it was the West Wing theme. We're continuing our NBC trend here.
Gee, who played that, Biff?
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me either.
And it sure the hell wasn't me. So
it wasn't me. I was on mute.
An angel was muted. So Biff.
Yeah, maybe I forgot the music.
You painted yourself into a corner, buddy.
He baited himself into a corner. Yeah.
I claim nothing. I claim nothing.
You know nothing.
I know nothing.
Special wonton soup for you. Very special.
But anyway, no, the moveset and all that. The movesets and all that, could they be considered dangerous by some of the veterans? Possibly.
Possibly, okay.
Are they dangerous? One would think not. We all thought that all of us, and I'm not saying I'm not part of this. We all thought Nia was dangerous after the inadvertent injury to Bailey.
Okay.
All of us.
Yeah. Okay.
There's that precedence.
Okay. Okay. Let's put that aside on that point either, anyways, because again, my critic would be saying that Balor and Corbin look like two guys who traveled the loops and worked each other in numerous matches while in NXT. That just serves the fact that the action was crisp. They seemingly knew what each other was going to do before they did it, and it resulted in a much better match than it probably should have been. Because I'll be honest with you, I did not peg Balor versus Corbin to be this good, because the story was solid, the action was solid, the spots were crisp, the timing was okay. There's nothing bad that I can nitpick about it.
Yeah.
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
The storyline can be nitpicked because it was already seen.
Yeah, of course.
Baron Corbin, I big man, you little man, I crush you. Like when before Cass was let go. I big Cass, I big man. Daniel Bryan, you little man, I crush you and make you insignificant. It's the same damn storyline.
I thought Big Cass was mad because he was a little, bean sprout in 9th grade, and then he turned into a monster.
Yeah,
isn't that the storyline they gave us?
I think so.
But it still remained. Big man Daniel Bryan. I supposed to beat you up.
I must.
He lost 3 times to Daniel Bryan. Thank you very much. So I already knew how this was going to end. Finn Balor was going over. Little guy overcomes big guy. Hello.
Doc, to your point, I can confirm that Finn Balor and Baron Corbin did work together on the loop in NXT. I synced it. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They main evented the NXT house show I went to. So.
Yes, they did. I mean,
so there is trust. So there was trust there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm sure there was trust there. And as for the result of it, Balor needed to win after months of losing high-profile bouts. And even if you and I Taker talk shit about Baron Corbin most of the time, not most of the time, probably all of the time. I think all of the time.
Wiley
Corbin, yes. Corbin's on-screen association with Stephanie McMahon will buy him some heat. Even if he loses, even when he has taken the loss, so
which I find funny, but when it came to Monday Night Raw, and I'll touch on that later.
Okay.
It has to do with It has to do with a cell phone.
Ah, okay. I hate to talk about the next match. Well, not exactly hate.
Oh boy.
I tend to. It's okay. Let's just get this over with. It's the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Asuka versus Carmella, with James Ellsworth suspended in his shark cage high above the squared circle.
It was fun to see James Ellsworth hang upside down the cage. That's my positive thought for this match.
It was fun to see Ellsworth undeniably adding to the Carmella character. That's it. That's my positive point.
But why are they booking Asuka to be a fool and go after Ellsworth? Lose focus on the actual prize at hand, which is kicking Carmella's ass and taking the title.
Because Mella is money.
Oh, bite my ass, Krispy Kreme.
Wow. You just call me Krispy Kreme? What the shit?
That's what I heard.
Aaron Brockovich watched the movie. Yes.
Look, was you making a comment on my weight? That's not nice.
No. See, I'm just telling you to bite my ass, Krispy Kreme. I'm not saying anything about your weight. I can care less about your weight.
I worked hard for this figure.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah. We're sure you did.
Wow, guys, thanks. Okay.
You opened that door.
Please don't cry.
Nothing personal. Nothing personal here.
Please don't cry.
He
is gonna cry.
Nothing personal, Biff. You know that.
He is gonna cry, isn't he?
I don't know what the hell just happened.
like I said, Biff. Nothing personal. It's business.
The Krispy Kreme rises to the top. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Krispy Kreme rises to the top.
Oh my God! I made a mistake.
Cup of coffee in the big time. Oh
yeah. I mean, at least this is a distracting thing. Oh yeah, I also have another positive I can say about the whole Asuka versus Carmella with James Ellsworth in the shark cage. The only thing salvaging it was the fact that everything that played out made sense within the context of the story they were telling. That's it. That's the positive spin I can think of in about 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, this match is awful.
Yeah.
This match was shit.
It was a creative finish, I guess you could call it that. But
yes, it was shit. You want me to go even worse? It's a contender for worst televised title match of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, Asuka.
You want to put the Golden Bullet Awards?
NXT champions had some of the greatest matches in NXT, i.e., Last Woman Standing with Nikki Cross. My match of the year last year has been turned into a bumbling fool on the main roster. More worried about James fucking Ellsworth. Yes, I'll pay the $5 fine. Than she was the actual goal, which is kicking Carmella's ass and taking the title.
I have a soapbox rant here when y'all are ready to hear me vent like a little girl.
Go for it. Go for it.
Go for it.
I freaking told you people, and when I say you people, I mean people over at Cage Side and other websites. I told everybody that this was going to happen, and nobody believed shit stinks. And, you know, well, here we are. We're getting ready to head into SummerSlam, and Asuka's going to be lucky if she even gets on the card. When they took away her undefeated streak, I told everybody, this is the poison pill. You don't know what you're asking for. Asuka could be used to make someone in perpetuity. Okay, she could have used that undefeated streak to turn someone into a star. And people were complaining about how it's so predictable and it's so boring and blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. $5 fine. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know, what you're asking for. Well, guess what? This is what you get. She lost that undefeated streak, and now people are all up in arms. They're like, yay, she gets to have new stories that don't revolve around it. WWE don't know how to tell stories anymore.
Nope.
They lobotomized Asuka's character. She is dead as a character because no one will ever take her serious again. Because anyone that loses multiple times to Carmella through that much tomfoolery is an idiot that is not worth following. Asuka is dead as a character. You will not resurrect her anywhere near what she could have been. And all of the value that she had to make someone like an Ember Moon, into a megastar on the main roster is now shot. So congratulations, everyone. You got what you wanted. She lost her undefeated streak before she should have. And this is the end result.
Yeah, she lost her undefeated streak to someone who had a blown out boob and needed boob replacement surgery.
Are you talking about Charlotte?
Charlotte, yeah.
Charlotte. I'm talking about Charlotte. She already had the implant rupture before she had the match at WrestleMania with Asuka. Everybody knew Charlotte was going to go away after WrestleMania to get her boob replaced.
And I think everyone figured that Carmella was going to cash in, but at WrestleMania, not, having Charlotte win.
We figured Charlotte was going to lose to Asuka, and Carmella was going to fail on her cash-in attempt. Well, Vince said, "No, pal, that's not what we're doing."
Yeah.
And why? Because fuck you. That's why.
Okay.
So they destroyed basically. They did a Roman Reigns to Asuka. Sorry.
Even worse, I would say.
And these last two matches Asuka had with Carmella, they put a bullet in her head twice, just like they did Roman with Brock at WrestleMania and at Greatest Royal Rumble. There is no saving Asuka's character currently. What she needs to do is lose the mask, bring out the face paint, turn Kana on her ass, and destroy everybody. Face, heel, it don't matter. She just comes out, interferes, and kills everybody.
What if that is actually what they're going to do with it?
I'm not holding. I am Hososeki. I am not holding my breath.
Okay.
Why? Because it would make sense. WWE has none.
Okay.
When it comes to booking, we know this. MDS, you and I have been doing this for over a year. We know that WWE has no goddamn sense. We know it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on this panel knows that WWE has no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can't argue with you on that one. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to drop reality on everybody, but
yeah, but that happened.
Sorry, I got distracted by an action figure of Dorothy Spornak dressed like Ted DiBiase. I was looking for something to add to this conversation, and I got distracted.
What?
You didn't want to hear. You didn't want to hear the truth. Well, admit it, Biff. You were running from the truth. The truth is WWE has no sense.
The hell, that's an axiom at this point. That's like a law of nature. Gravity, it's like the third law of thermodynamics.
Do you honestly think I give two shits whether Vince cares, whether Vince listens to this or not, or his goddamn spies do? No. Vince, you're an asshole.
Yay. He's an asshole. Finally. Never mind.
And I'll mute my microphone and go quiet for a while.
Good timing. Yeah, that was a chore. I think that was a chore. Yeah, correct?
There's a chart. I can't find it. I'm looking. It was on my YouTube. It was on my Twitter feed. Now it's gone. But there was a chart of the list of women's champions on either brand since the brand draft. In 2016, the brand extension draft. And of the top three was Carmella and Alexa Bliss. And Naomi. Carmella, Charlotte, Naomi, and Alexa Bliss are the top four in terms of days with the title held. While Bayley and Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch are down the list with the likes of Natalya. That's a Greek tragedy. I'm sorry, but that says it all. That just highlights Taker's point. They have no freaking clue what they're doing. You know, and that's no disrespect to Alexa Bliss or Carmella as people. I'm sure they're wonderful people in real life, but it says a lot when, you know, two of your worst in-ring talents are gobbling up, you know, multiple month reigns as champion. Alexa Bliss has held the title over a year quantitatively. She's like up to like 400 something days with title reigns since the brand extension. She's doubled the next nearest person on the list. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. That's just tragic.
Insane. Oh my god.
It is. In a way, in a how to say, in an opinionated way that we like to think about it. Yeah, it is insane. It's just insane to think about that.
You can't make a qualitative argument for it, I don't think. I mean, can anyone in here in this room honestly say that Alexa Bliss is a better wrestler than Bayley, Ruby Riott, Ember Moon, Charlotte, Sasha? I mean, can we say that honestly?
No, we can't even say she's a better wrestler than Ronda, and Ronda's green as grass.
And Ronda just got into the business.
And the same exact principle with Carmella. I mean, can Carmella honestly be held up as a better option with a title than Asuka or Charlotte Flair or Becky or Naomi? And I'm not a Naomi fan, but Naomi is still ahead of Carmella.
Well, Biff, I hate to bring this up to you, but Carmella's dad was a jobber during WWF days.
I know this.
So could it be some sort of a backhanded payback to her daddy?
No, it's Vince thinking with their penis. That's exactly what it is. The same reason Alexa Bliss. Because you know what? Screw it. Call me sexist if you want, people. I don't give a damn. That's what it is. Alexa Bliss and Carmella are beautiful women, and that's why they have the title.
I agree.
Okay. Okay.
No argument here.
I know that's a sexist thing, like, oh, you're basing it down to their looks. No, it's qualitative analysis after watching them pretend to work a wrestling match. They're there for their and their ability to talk. They can talk.
Hososeki, Biff. Hososeki. And you know what that's about, don't you?
You're about to prevent me from committing seppuku?
No. You have watched some of the sumo coverage, yes or no?
Yes.
Whenever they do an interview while matches are going on or the in-betweens, the guy in the back goes, Hososeki, to get the attention of everybody at the desk.
Yeah.
So that's how we interrupt each other now on this show. Hososeki. It's a polite way of saying, shut up. Anyway.
Poor guy. He's just trying to be.
Now I forgot the exact thought I had. So go ahead, Biff.
Well, that's what you get, asshole.
Love you too, Biff.
Okay. Let's just.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating that they cannot recognize the value that Lana and Alexa Bliss and Carmella have on the roster. Alexa Bliss was one of the most entertaining manager/ballet characters down in NXT that I've seen in a good long while. Uh-huh. She has incredible timing on the microphone. She can make you hate her. She's a great heel manager. Uh-huh. Carmella, not as sold in her managerial talent, but she could still fill that role, or as a lower card wrestler, that you have, occasional need to rotate in and out of the picture for. Sure. Uh-huh. Not every person is meant to be a champion. Uh-huh. And when you put two women, and I have the same criticism over the tag teams right now, so it's not a sexist thing. It's when you put a person, man or woman, in a position that they're not capable of filling, uh-huh, it diminishes the credibility and the quality of the product. Carmella has been champion all summer. That's not a great shock that the women's division's overall quality on SmackDown has dropped precipitously over the last year. Raw's women's division, it's no great shock that in the time it's taken Alexa Bliss to become the dominant female, the quality has begun to drop precipitously from 2016 to 2018. It's not a shock. There's a reason why the quality of women's wrestling on the main roster has regressed. You cannot put people in a position that they're not capable of handling. Alexa Bliss is not capable of handling the in-ring work necessary to perpetuate the idea that the women's evolution is continuing. Okay, I believe in a meritocratic view in this regard. You put your best women forward and you showcase your best talents. The best talents should be at the top of the card. That's not Alexa Bliss. That's not Carmella. You're handicapping yourself and ruining your progress by using old school metrics to judge who should be in that position. Alexa Bliss is a Divas era champion on top of the card right now. Carmella is a Divas era champion, not a Women's Evolution era champion. That's my 2 cents.
Okay. That is again another good soapbox offer. Yeah.
That is a solid point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be very careful how you word that, because all people are going to hear, "Oh, you're sexist.
You're a misogynist bastard."
Kiss my ass. I don't care anymore.
Pick a spot. You're all ass. But anyway.
I am not all ass. I am not flabgas here.
Biff, love you, bro. Love you, buddy.
My love handles are a feature. They're not a hang up. They're an accessory.
Like I said, Biff, love you, buddy. Love you.
I'm sure you guys have seen Harlem Nights, right? Kiss my entire ass.
You can kiss my entire ass, but I'm not all ass.
Let me put it to you like this. That statement
here.
that I just made is something I have been using for the last 30 years. I have had many people tell me to kiss their ass, and I look right at them, and I have looked dead at them in the face and said, pick a spot, you're all ass. And the same thing happened every time. Everybody busted out laughing. That's the whole point.
Poor Biff. Just poor Biff.
Poor Biff has been picked on relentlessly this morning.
You're supposed to be my friends, asshole.
I mean, sure. Let's quickly skate over to the whole U.S. Championship title match between Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura. Shall we?
15 seconds.
Dick Kick City. I always like going to Dick Kick City.
I'm afraid someone by the name of Brian Zane might just call us and say, no, you are infringing on my gimmick infringement.
Jeff Hardy got punched in the Richard.
Yep. Ooh, population down to 0, Jeff Hardy.
Hell, he's already got 2 kids he don't need anymore.
Ooh, he would certainly like the option of having more.
I don't know if Reeby's going to be like,
That's Matt Hardy's wife, not Jeff Hardy's wife.
Oh, excuse me. My bad.
I like where this is going.
Dear Lord.
Dear God.
What does the frog say? Ding, 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 ding.
That's even the wrong song. You're not supposed to say what the frog says. It's what the fox says.
Oh.
You're trying to sing Axel, the Axel song again.
Well, at least we're not going into, what's that movie? Oh, shit. No, it'll come to me. Give me a minute. Banjos are playing. Biff, help me out here.
Deliverance.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I have a lot of positive.
Yeah, leave it to the country guy here to bring up the squeal like a pig.
I like you. I like you, boy.
Oh God.
Poor
I like where that is going.
I'm sure
Keep it up and I'll sing John Denver.
I'm sure Jimmy does too, but I digress.
Wow.
Angel. Angel knows I won't. He knows I'm not saying it too.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean,
I'm one of the few that can get away with it.
Metal Gear Solid exclamation point pops up. Boink.
That's for you to say. That's for you to say, my friend.
Like I said, Angel knows I meant no offense. It was a joke.
It's always.
I think Angel has better standards than Ned Beatty. I'm just saying.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Oof.
Okay.
Also, okay. Turn the floor over to MDS.
And
Can I have
that red warning light is like puffing smoke right now.
Can I have I'm just gonna sit there in the corner puffing a cigarette or two, I think. Maybe. Okay. Can I have the floor back now, please? Because I have a few good amount of points that I can say for positive on this one. Number one, this is all storyline development. Number two, Nakamura winning the title was the right move. even if he's still a heel. I still think that it's a good move for them. Number three. Yeah. Number 3. Poor Jeff Hardy for getting nutted for about 2 times now on separate occasions at the same time. That's pretty much it on my end. To elaborate, I enjoyed this match.
It was fine. I mean,
it was fine. It was fine. There's no.
Yeah. And
it's not bad. It's not great, but it's good. It's not the worst that I've seen, but
not the best either.
Yeah, not the best, but
it's certainly not Jeff Hardy's worst 10-second match. So
yeah, it's certainly not Jeff Hardy's.
Well, let's put it this way. Mm-hmm. It's not the first time Jeff Hardy's been involved in a match that was like 15 seconds long.
That's what I mean. Yeah. This for a much better reason.
Much better reason.
Yeah.
The other one was because he was so far out on soma and alcohol and everything else. Yeah.
Understandable. Anywho, I think this one is quite possibly a good match without any sort of complications or any sort of arguments or nitpicks, thorough nitpicks about it. Both men did what they could. The decision to strap Nakamura was fine on my end, anyways, because you can't. Because I think, especially as the company, I think, in my opinion, anyways, the company is looking to maintain Nakamura's heel momentum after his unsuccessful attempts of dethroning AJ Styles. Okay, give him the secondary title. Sure, we'll do that. So, yeah.
Well, this is how it's supposed to go, where they've been going with you win the world title and then you win the U.S. title lately. But it's supposed to progress.
Yes, and I'm happy that Nakamura is still keeping the nut shots going in.
Well, this is all chaos related, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And hey, if it still keeps Nakamura going for the better of it, then why not? Even though someone might have to argue that no, Nakamura is stealing my.
But now I have a question.
Okay.
What is Randy Orton's involvement here?
Wasn't it answered in SmackDown or?
No, not really. No, not really.
Oh, okay.
At least I didn't get an answer. Did anybody else?
I think Jeff Hardy's ear got an answer, but
yeah.
Oh, that was sick. That was gloriously sick.
Oh, please don't remind me of that again.
I was expecting him to just basically take his finger and rip it through.
I honestly thought that's what was going to happen. That's just old school. That's like Ron Bass British Beefcake levels of brutality.
Yeah. You don't see stuff like that in a mole.
No.
Just new.
I was sitting there going, okay, Randy, I'm waiting. And nothing. I was like, oh, Randy, just take your finger and pull through.
I mean, okay.
Break that hymen, damn it. Anyway,
whoa!
Excuse me while I put down my head.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me while I put down my headphones, and I'm gonna go. Yeah, Control Alt Delete. I'm going.
No, you're not. You're staying right here, MBS. You're the co-host, remember?
Fine.
You can't leave.
I cannot. Fine.
I'm going to take a piss. Y'all enjoy. Wow.
Okay, take a piss then. Look, see if I care. See if I care if you take a piss.
Yes, I went there. I'm sorry, guys. I had to. It was just one of those things it was one of those thoughts that crossed my mind.
You did.
Has anyone seen that video? It made the rounds, I don't know, a few years ago, and it was like a local city government meeting, and the leader, like, I don't know if he was the mayor or what, but they were all, mic'd up. And the guy ended up having to go to the bathroom, so they were taking a break, but he left his mic on when he went to the bathroom. So you could just hear the stream going for about 35 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone was cracking up.
I heard it in the bathroom going, oh, God, that feels good. Oh, yeah.
Those jaw tinglers when you really have to go and all the way up in your jaw.
And we've all been, as men on this panel here, and this is not sexist, ladies and gentlemen.
We crossed the Rubicon on that a long time ago.
We have all been there. Where it's like
you lose all ability to successfully, put the key in the door if you're just getting home. It's very difficult.
Yeah,
to try and get yourself in the house.
Going from extreme cold to warm, and it's like, oh
yeah.
Angel, that's a commentary on more than just that in my life, but okay.
We've all been there where we've gone from like -10 to -5 to -10 for some of us anyway, to 65-degree temperatures inside your home, and it's like, oh shit, and it's like, run.
Run.
For Angel, it's let's see, I'd say maybe 40 to 65, and he's got to do that.
40 to 65, right?
Well, I have, I've worked in delis and sandwich places where there's refrigerators and freezers, so that's how I've experienced.
So you understand exactly how it is, like,
yeah, because I would, do all the shipments and put all the stuff away. So I'd be in the freezer for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then come out and it's like, whoa.
What is that problem with us as human beings? We go from one temperature extreme to another. It's like, oh, gotta piss.
Anyhow,
the joys of recreation center and waste treatment plant being side by side.
How was the pissing?
I didn't actually go piss. I've been sitting here listening to everybody.
Sure. Anywho,
that's why I brought up that story, because I was expecting to hear the story. If you didn't put it on mute, which I didn't see.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or just you were expecting him to go.
Angel was sitting there with bated anticipation.
Yeah, Angel was sitting there with bated breath. What did you hear?
Well, hey, Angel and I are the manwich of this show, so.
And then I have expected them to go just afterwards.
Wait a minute.
Just go,
Hososeki.
Sure.
If you and Angel are the manwich, who's the meat? And who's the bread?
I'm the top bun. I've already established that. I think Mox is the meat.
And he's not here, so he can't defend himself.
Sure.
I'm not the bottom.
I might be able to fix that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a cat? Do I hear
a
cat?
That's my cat. He kind of perked up with TakersMinion, said he could fix that.
I might.
I'm not sure I like where this is going, but go. What's your thought?
Okay. If you don't like where this is going, I think you might like where I'm going.
I'm going to do something here that may not be popular with the group, but I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see. Where is it?
Notice the uncomfortable silence that just
I have found it. Want to come in. Here is the link. Who's cat?
Well, not the guy who just screamed at the cat. So,
not the guy who screamed at the cat.
Now we will see what happens.
What happens?
Patience.
What happens?
Patience, Padawan.
That's gonna happen.
And all these segues have lasted longer than the United States title match.
And I was just about to move. Yeah, and I was just about to move to Owens versus Strowman, and I'm still waiting with bated breath.
Well, you can wait, but Madeline Lenoir said it best.
Mm-hmm.
Are they paying Kevin Owens hazardous pay for the bumps he's taken in the last month?
Yeah, I sure hope so.
I mean,
I
Jesus,
sure hope so.
He took a 25-foot fall off of a ladder.
Exactly.
And then he takes another 20-foot fall off the top of the cage. Wins the match, mind you, by going through the announce table. However, he was in bad shape.
He was. I hate to put it onto him, but with Owens' moveset that night, and then Owens attempting to escape and met with a door slam right on his face, and then choke slammed, and then getting choke slammed all the way through the announce table and through the floor.
Was that the Spanish announce table or the German table that got destroyed?
I think it was the Spanish announce table. I think
that poor table.
Poor tables. Sorry, Lepsy, for not being able to watch the German announce table to crash again. So that's one more mark of shame and disservice. But anyway, quick positive, and I think this is the only positive. I think this is the only positive that matters. The storytelling here is awesome.
What's the story?
Well,
at least in your opinion, anyway.
My opinion, okay. Owens won, but Strowman got the last laugh. Here's the thing: Owens winning, in my eyes, anyways, was the only move or the best move that they can do, given the way the story whole unfolded in the weeks ahead of the show, with Kevin Owens being the coward guy, just trying to run away and getting taunted by getting taunted by Strowman every single chance that the big guy can do that.
But they had to do a Mick Foley finish.
They had to.
Oy.
Yeah, because if Kevin Owens took a clean loss, would have made the whole thing moot, because you're setting up Kevin Owens for the big fall. And and outside of storylines, outside of wins losses ratio, do you actually need to have Kevin Owens lose yet again? Because on my notes,
why not? He's become a jobber on the damn roster.
Exactly. Losing would have rendered him a total jobber, when you and I both know that he's better than just a total jobber.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Owens, no. Kevin Steen, yes.
Okay.
Anybody on the panel disagree with that?
That Owens is the jobber at this point? I mean,
technically he's not, but he's definitely diminished from what he should be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Technically, he was.
After the big rub and everything else he got from Cena, they basically tore his ass down.
Yeah, but that's a special. They do that to almost everybody. How many people have not experienced that level of destruction on the main roster at some point? They did it to Sasha. They did it to Becky.
Hell, they really did it to Bayley, and they damn sure did a big number on Roman.
Yeah, they did it to Roman. They did it to Bayley. They've done it to Kevin Owens. They did it to Baron Corbin. They've done it to...
Yeah, they did it. They did it to Baron Corbin when Nikki Bella neutered his ass.
And then but on a plus side, anyways, I mean, if you put Strowman to lose against Kevin Owens cleanly, would we accept the fact that Strowman lost to Kevin Owens flat out?
No, But that's on WWE for booking themselves into that corner.
Exactly.
It's story. It's like the matches. It's not a problem of the in-ring quality. That's not a problem with this roster. Now, there have been some disappointing papers over the last couple of months in terms of the actual in-ring stuff. It's not the quality of the talent. It's how they're being used. It's all creative at this point. Because we saw, how many weeks ago was it? The Raw in San Diego. When our good friend Crash went down there, and of course he had like one of the best Raws in 2 years. But they can, in a bubble, they can do great storylines. They can have great action, great wrestling, a fun show, a good product that they could put out there in a bubble. You know, SmackDown has had good individual shows over the last couple of months, but it's the overall story for the people. Number one, there's no main story to follow.
No, there isn't.
And number two, all of the minor stories that are supposed to accentuate the main story, they're non-existent or repetitive or just not captivating. So, but it was a fun bump at the end of the match. I'm glad Kevin Owens is safe. It was kind of scary, but
I agree.
It was an impressive visual. So.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that he's safe from all that, and like Madeline said, I hope Kevin Owens gets an extra pay just because he's doing all these bumps and whatnot. Because, woo boy, he has been taking a lot of dangerous bumps these past few months.
And this one, it's not something I ever thought we'd see again, which is, someone actually being thrown, which it's one thing when you're doing the jumping and you control all the, physics of it. Yeah. This was a toss. So it could one extra little push and he could move 1 centimeter the wrong way and he has a broken neck. So
yes. Yeah. The risk is there. The risk has always.
And they have the precautions now. Thankfully, they didn't have the airbags with Mick Foley. He just was a madman.
Well, the thing about it was that spot where Undertaker threw Mick off the top of the Hell in a Cell was not known to anybody but Mick and Undertaker.
Well, if you listen to Jim Ross, he's literally crying for help. I think.
And then the spot
that's
where
genuine reaction.
And then the spot where Mick went through the top of the Hell in a Cell was not planned either. That was a malfunction of the cage.
Yeah.
But the thing about it was that they were using damn zip ties to hold the roof on.
Yeah.
Which was asinine, to say the least.
And far dangerous. So.
And that was the worst bump of the two.
Yeah. That was an unexpected bump that Mick took. Mick was seriously concussed and in bad shape for 5 minutes after that.
Let's get back on this one as quickly as possible. What do you guys think about the match? Angel?
I thought it was well executed. I don't know if they just didn't have a lot of time or what. It seemed pretty quick, but I thought they did a great job with it. It was one of the better cage matches I've seen in a while. So that's how I felt on it.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add on? Yeah,
I didn't see it, so.
Yeah, I know. Biff, do you have anything to add on this one? Or have you...
Just kind of what we touched on. It showed glimpses of why Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman can be so entertaining. It was a fun. It wasn't necessarily a good match. It was a fun match. Like, a match doesn't have to be a technical masterpiece to be fun. This was a good cage match, and you need moments of levity like that on the main roster.
And there are little subtlety differences, like Kevin Owens, the handcuffs coming out of nowhere. No one saw that coming. But with the shark cage match, you could see Ellsworth's big clump of a hoodie. You knew he had something in there. So none of that was a surprise. But I don't know where Kevin was, hiding those handcuffs. It just came out of nowhere.
I don't think we want to know. Jack Harkness moment from Doctor Who fans, anyone listening.
Anyway, let's move quickly to the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between Team Hell No versus Team Bludgeon Brothers.
Daniel Bryan looked good. There's my positive thought.
Why do I feel like I have a sour taste in my mouth after watching this?
Excuse me, guys.
You know what I think it was, honestly? You know what I think this match was? Okay. This match was thrown together with the belief that Daniel Bryan may not re-sign with WWE. And so they were going to just kind of piss away his last little bit of time in a know-nothing feud and be done with it. But then when the news started filtering out over last weekend that Bryan was going to re-sign with them, they decided to push the eject button on Team Hell No and put him back in a more serious storyline. That's what I feel like it was.
I would agree.
I would agree too.
The money storyline is him beating the shit out of Miz.
Yeah.
That story has built what? Jesus.
More than 2 years.
Almost 3 now.
Mm-hmm. It goes all the way back to his debut in WWE if you want to include the original NXT.
Exactly.
Well, if you go back to the infamous promo on Talking Smack, that's where it really was solidified.
Yeah.
Hard to argue against that. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm disappointed after watching this match. I think that's my general feeling of it all. Yes, and yes, I see. I could say on one end of it all, I could see that creative almost assuredly and almost single-handedly wants to build up the Bludgeon Brothers so that Daniel Bryan and Kane's victory ultimately means more. But when they see the reaction that Daniel Bryan and Kane were getting, that's the time that they should have taken the gun and just, okay, let's take a bite on the bullet with Daniel Bryan and Kane. Let's just do that. Let's just strike the iron while it's hot.
Well, I mean, Kane being legitimately hurt, that is really
I think that
nothing more. I don't know who knows what they were trying to do. I mean, they had to put that last minute angle in where they get, ripped up in the backstage. But
yeah. I mean, again, but it's just disappointing. I think it's disappointing. I don't know whether I'd be disappointed on the ring on the in-ring amount of things, or just something that both the fan, and WWE can't control when in Kane being legitimately injured. Probably so. I just feel disappointed overall in general. So, is that?
You know what I think it is? I think this match is one of the. I don't want to say it's rare because it happens in WWE, but this is one of the matches where everyone comes out of it a loser. Yeah. Like everyone comes out of it looking worse. The Bludgeon Brothers, that did way more harm to them than it helped them.
Exactly.
It kind of makes the decision to reunite Team Hell No kind of perplexing because they're moving on from it. And I don't know that they wouldn't have moved on from it anyway. I don't know if Kane's injury forced their hand on that regard, but it made the Bludgeon Brothers look worse. It made Team Hell No look worse. It brought the crowd down. It was a disappointment. It was a sour moment. And it kind of makes you wonder, what the hell was the point?
Yeah,
and it's like, what the hell was the point of all of this? You bring Team Hell No back, and then they're reunited for one match. They lose. And now we're moving on to Bryan and Miz. It's like, that does nobody any favors at all.
Yeah. Like I said, you strike the iron while it's still hot. You see the reaction that Team Hell No is getting. You should act on the reaction. But no, they didn't. They don't want to take a gamble or take a risk on it, and just let's just stick our eggs in the Bludgeon Brothers basket and ignore the fact that. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's the same. It's the same principle that I was complaining about with the women's division. You put all of this time with Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, and I am a Luke Harper mark. I love Luke Harper. I think he's one of their hidden gems on the roster. But they repackage them. They give them new theme music. They give them a new gimmick. It's Harper and Rowan. It's a team that was being jobbed out left and right just years ago. They expect them to be this world-beating team. Nobody buys them in this role. It's a hokey gimmick with a very generic veneer to it. No one buys it. And you've got so many more talented tag teams on SmackDown that could be on top. But it's no shock. The tag team scene on SmackDown was one of the show's strengths all last year into early 2018. As soon as they took the titles off the Usos, look what happened. That title scene just went straight into the freaking toilet because the Bludgeon Brothers are not championship material. You putting a weaker team, a less over team, and a less accomplished team, and I would argue a less capable tag team as your champions, while you have the Usos, the New Day, Gallows and Anderson are better, even though they haven't been treated as such on the WWE. The Bar, Cesaro, and Sheamus, that's a much better option.
Of course,
you know, it's mind-boggling. You take the worst possible option as your champion, and you wonder why your division sucks. I mean, there you go.
It's insane.
It really is.
Anything to add on this one, Angel?
I don't know. I think the injury threw it for a loop. So, like Biff said, there was really no winning for anyone here. I don't know. The Bludgeon Brothers it's a boring championship reign that has not given us much. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, okay, understandable. Okay, let's just move to Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns in a singles match.
I'm glad Bobby Lashley is still breathing. That's that spot he took getting slammed out to the floor. Holy crap.
Biff, do I have your agreement when I say that, my God, this match surprised the hell out of
me? It was... I was shocked that they didn't lose the crowd. I thought for sure the crowd was just going to poop all over it, and
it started to, but I think
it started to because to me, I think I'm sorry I cut you off there, Angel. It started slow, and then I don't know whether it's in the middle of it or probably on the 2/3 of it all, but it started slow, but then suddenly it picked up. It didn't pick up a gear or two. It picked up a gear 5 or gear 6 for that matter.
And he's done that spot before. I've seen it. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. It was a TNA World Title match against Austin Aries, and they don't have ring mats on the floor. So that when I saw that the first time, I thought he's crazy. And even when he did it again with the mats, I just pretty impressive. I mean, that just has to knock every bit of wind right out of you.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
And it really, I think that spot really turned the match 180 right into full momentum.
Yeah.
Because everyone's it grabbed your attention. So
yes. Yeah, I agree. Because the whole thing started slow, but with that move, suddenly everything, business suddenly picked up.
Can I ask you a question? I have an opinion on this, and I want to know if y'all would maybe agree with this or disagree with it.
Okay.
I think Angel is spot on, and Doc, you brought this up. The slam outside the ring definitely kind of caught everyone's attention, and it kind of made everyone cognizant of the fact that, hey, these guys are going out and kicking some ass, and this is a match we need to pay attention to. But I honestly believe the reason the crowd stuck with the match is if you watch wrestling long enough and you are accustomed to the WWE style, you gain the perception of someone is working the heel style and someone's working the babyface style. Even when you have two people who are maybe supposed to be baby faces, which in this case, Roman and Bobby Lashley were supposed to both be faces. But WWE style of wrestling, there's always someone who kind of takes the dominant role. And generally in Roman's matches, he is not in the dominant role. He's always the underdog fighting from underneath.
Yep.
This was one of the rare moments where Roman was kind of the dominant hand and Lashley was fighting from underneath. And I think people in the crowd caught on to that because they realized that the match was building to the underdog winning. And I think they gained the appreciation for the sense that, hey, maybe Bobby Lashley's actually going to pull this out. Because not many people, I don't think, expected Lashley to win. The odds going into the show were Roman Reigns winning. As a pretty sizable favorite to boot, if I'm not mistaken. So do y'all think that plays any role in this? The crowd might have sensed that, Lashley is the underdog here. They may actually have him overcome the odds. Is that why they didn't turn on it?
I think. Okay. Angel, do you want to go on this with him?
Well, I didn't think for a second that Lashley was going to win. So even
there you go.
Even playing that role, but the match really picked up at the end. So if you were hard pressed to not be, fully invested. So. Okay.
I mean, Biff, I'll say this though. In the whole matchup of it all, with the whole Reigns taking the loss, personally, I think you and I could agree that Reigns losing here is meaning that Reigns actually doesn't really lose anything in this defeat. I think.
Well, this is
also Seki.
Okay.
Reigns' character, and Biff will agree with me, Reigns' character has been basically destroyed. He has no credibility as any kind of threat towards anybody right now.
But, okay. That would be on a general scale, but I'm talking about this small scale here, which is the match between him and Lashley.
Him and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley left to go become a MMA star a la Brock Lesnar, and what happened? He fell on his face. And now he's back after spending time in TNA, plus on the Indies, and Roman called him out on it. So who's the face? Who's the heel? I can't say they're both faces. I can't say they're both heels.
But
I don't know. Roman kind of came across like a dick.
But you know what? Maybe that's what he needs to do.
No, it is what he needs to do. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying that I thought it was fairly clear Roman Reigns was kind of the agitator.
Yeah, and I think on this context, anyway, on his match against Bobby Lashley right now, him losing doesn't necessarily affect him a little bit because I think the main focus
has been jobbing to people for the last year and a half.
I'm not saying that he's being jobbed here or he's doing the job work. It's just that to me, I think I put a spin on it and say there's just that this is his way of using him using his star to help elevate others like Bobby Lashley in a sense, because you know that okay, he's gone now, he's coming back, and he's not as established.
He's not very popular with the crowd.
Yeah, and this is how Roman Reigns does his work. He elevates the other person to put some shine on it in a way.
Yes.
And it is exactly what I hope people that are listening, and to all of us, I think it is exactly what we have wanted out of a top star for years. not just being the top guy or just the guy we want to cheer and we want to see succeed. We want to see the top guy help out others, in a sense.
I am 99.9% in agreement with you in the sense that the loss didn't do anything to Roman. It elevated Bobby Lashley because Lashley needed a marquee win to reestablish himself at the level WWE was portraying him at. Here's where the problem though comes in. It did not affect Roman, and that's a problem because of what happened with creative direction the next night.
Okay.
Roman Reigns losing on Sunday had exactly zero impact on his progression. Like, that loss should have impacted him because they were building up the story. These two guys want to know who the guy is. And, Roman Reigns should now be out of the equation for a couple of weeks because Bobby Lashley cleanly defeated him. It's Lashley's time. But that's not the creative direction. Now we get Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley again. Out of the 6 guys that showed up to claim the right to challenge for the Universal Championship, the 2 least popular options, or the least interesting options, are the 2 that are going to be moving forward.
Exactly.
So now you get one of 2 options. Either Roman loses twice to Lashley, which is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have a situation where Roman wins, but Lashley gets in because he beat Roman at the pay-per-view.
Okay.
And so you either get Roman Brock or you get Roman Lashley Brock. None of those matches are very interesting. But it just completely invalidates the entire build to the match at Extreme Rules because it had zero impact. Roman Reigns has no business being in the number 1 contenders discussion right now. None.
Okay.
None whatsoever. And the fact that he is there, it kills me. You have both camps. The Roman haters and the Roman apologists are correct. Roman, and I'm not saying Taker is an apologist or a hater. I'm not lumping him in there. I'm just saying you have one camp that says Roman always wins and Roman's always in a position to do this. And then other people are like, what are you talking about? Roman always gets jobbed out in the big matches. And it's like, you're both right. Roman does lose his big matches, but he always finds a way to be back in the mix. It's like both camps are right.
Yes, they are.
It's a level of ineptitude from creative that's mind-blowing. You give ammunition to everybody, and you kill this poor bastard. I don't get it.
It's incredibly frustrating.
It is. It's ridiculous.
And he didn't even come out on Monday and claim, to be wanting to be a number 1 contender. He just said, I want to kick some butt tonight. And all of a sudden, that makes him, everyone else had a valid claim for... when they came out. But
he came out and said, I don't care. I want to fight. I'm here to fight. I want to fight tonight.
Exactly.
Okay. Hososeki.
Again.
MDS.
Yeah.
It's time.
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Hopefully this sees better.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we decided today it was going to be, this is a surprise I talked about in the description, and I'm sure MDS talked about it in the posting. We were going to turn on our cams today.
I did not. In actuality, I did not. This is a complete surprise.
This is me. Now you know what my face looks like.
Although some of us already know beforehand.
Yes, you posted yourself in the press room at Liverpool, and I figured this was as good a time as any. So, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you MDS, his face, and myself, TakersMinion, his face.
His face. What a handsome face he is.
Yours isn't too bad either, my friend.
Hey.
It's only been over a year. We talked about this off and on, and I figured today was as good as any.
Yeah. It is a good time as best in any. Although, in my defense, I already posted some of my photos on Twitter. Which was okay. And there is your lovely wife.
There is LL in the background.
Hi, LL.
And Biff is all excited now because he got to see her again.
I've seen LL before.
I know you have. I said that's why I said you're all excited because you got to see her again.
Hold that pose for just a second longer, guys. Hold that pose.
Hold that pose. No, she's off.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? I think this will be a permanent thing from not going forward with Shooting the Breeze that you will see both MDS and myself every week.
Every week. No, this is a one. I think this is a one-off or just a surprise.
You coward!
What? I'm protecting my face. I should be protecting my face.
Hell,
I should be.
Hell, I'll join for a sec. Hey, hang on. There we go. Hello.
Of course, we know how you look, Jimmy.
I know. Everyone's seen me. And Madonna.
If you're the only one that hasn't done it, are you willing?
I physically can't do it. I don't have a video camera on my computer screen.
Oh, that's too bad.
We'll just
that, and I'm naked right now. Literally, I am naked.
Oh, dear Lord!
Now, so I don't want to.
You don't want to excite Jimmy. So. You don't want to excite Angel.
No, we don't need Angel getting too excited.
Too excited. In any case,
and LL too. LL popped back in the screen there when I said that. So.
Which gets.
Sorry, guys. Biff remains incognito for a little while. So.
Although in technicality,
gentlemen, I'm going to try to get him to reveal himself on connoisseurs, but
right. Okay. Let's put one more surprise of the match for this one. For the whole thing, because I think this might surprise people. We have Raw Women's Championship street fight between Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss.
The match is over. That's my positive call.
Yeah. I can't even.
Okay, one positive I can say is that
Angel, you turned it on, stay on till the show's over.
I'm on my phone, so I'm walking around doing laundry. So if you want to watch me do laundry, that's okay.
That's fine.
That's fine, I guess.
I'll just surprise you every once in a while and turn it on.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. The only positive I can say is that it did just enough to give me what I want in Jax pummeling Bliss. At least it gives me that. It gives me Nia Jax beating the shit out of Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, but there was also a lot of fun going when someone jumped the rail.
Yeah. Ronda Rousey sprinting around the ring to catch up to Alexa Bliss. Double thumbs up.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that who was the one that actually got their ass kicked? It was Mickie James.
Oh, of course.
Why do I sense that Ronda's going to have to go through Mickie to get to Alexa in the coming weeks?
As if that's not a possibility. As if that's not a possibility. It's an eventuality. If Ronda Rousey is going to get through Alexa Bliss, she's going to get through Mickie James and reach Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. I volunteer my services to help Mickie recover.
Mickey's got a husband.
I'll handle her convalescence. When has it ever stopped me before?
True.
Yeah. Why not?
Oh, hell. Everybody saw me taking a swallow of beer. Damn it.
Hey, that cigarette and beer look, that makes you look like a vintage radio host. I'm just letting you know.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Ow!
Someone
got slapped. Ow!
She just got slapped, ladies and gentlemen.
Twice. Not once, but twice in the head. I thought you loved me, LOL.
While he's going through that, the match itself, I feel it was a little bit disjointed. Am I in the wrong to say that it feels a little bit disjointed? And quote me if I'm wrong again. It felt a little bit ugly as well. It's a mess.
This match was not very good.
Yeah. But
not a shock, but
I think the whole match, the whole focus of the match itself wasn't actually the match itself. It's just the shenanigans that happened in the match itself. I think if I phrase that correctly.
I think they shot themselves in the foot with Ronda being in a ring.
But is it wrong if I say that you were not enjoying yourself when you're seeing Ronda Rousey chasing after the 4'11" person? Yes, you did.
Because we know Ronda's going to destroy Alexa.
I mean, you already saw Alexa Bliss getting destroyed by Nia Jax in this match. Yay! I wish for Ronda Rousey to get her hands on Alexa Bliss as well, even if it means going through Mickie James just to reach her. Yeah, go ahead. When that time comes, that moment will trump any criticisms over match quality. I mean, you'd be entertained just because of that.
Let's put it this way. I will say this. I'm going to go on record saying so.
You are literally going on record. You are literally going on record.
Ronda Rousey is far and away a much better in-ring competitor and in-ring general than Alexa Bliss ever thought she was.
Okay.
Anyone on the panel disagree?
I find it hard not to. I find it.
She definitely commands more of your attention, but
yes.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough.
I don't know how to compare a giant, a monster of a woman in Ronda Rousey or the 4'11" in Alexa Bliss. Which one do I take more seriously?
Oh, yeah, Ronda.
I see armbar ending the match with Ronda versus Alexa, and Mickie James comes in and tries to save her, and somehow, some way, Ronda is able to destroy Mickie as well. Or in the matches leading up to the SummerSlam match, which we know which is going to be. Because Ronda's got one more week of suspension.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If WWE books that match to have Alexa Bliss get on Ronda Rousey, to hell with WWE.
Yeah, no shit.
That needs to be a murder, death, kill, squash.
Biff, I will turn in my fan card if that happens.
What?
I will turn in my WWE fan card if Alexa Bliss gets any kind of offense in against Ronda.
Okay. I get challenged.
I'll go back to watching 1940s, 50s, and 60s wrestling only at that point. Because how in the Sam hell is a 4'11" non-muscular, no talent having blonde with big boobs going to be able to get any kind of offense in against Ronda and make it look credible?
I thought you were about to go on like a Chevy Chase style Christmas Vacation rant. That's disappointing.
I think it's a measured approach from him, I think. But
a very calculated, yeah.
Very measured and calculated. So, yeah. Anyhow, I think we all enjoy
having no wrestling hack talent, bag of monkey piss as she is. Hallelujah, where's the Tylenol?
Are you channeling your Jim Cornette, your inner Jim Cornette in a way, or something like that?
No, I am channeling my inner Chevy Chase. The epic rant. Christmas Vacation is such a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that may have sounded harsh, what I said, but that's my feeling on it.
It's not harsh. It's just measured.
Gentle.
It was gentle. We know how you
be a man, Taker. Take off the filter.
Oh, really? Do you want me to take off the filter, Biff?
Take off the filter. I am egging you on. I'm the devil on your shoulder. Let's go, boy. Come on. Take it off. Take it all off.
In the build up leading to SummerSlam, I see Ronda basically ripping goddamn Mickey James' arm off and sending her ass to the hospital and rehab down in Birmingham.
Oh.
So Alexa don't have her backup.
Oh, okay.
And then I see the same thing happening, although not only does she rip Alexa's arm off, she rips her rib cage out at the same time.
Ugh.
Okay, that's not quite what I had.
And holds it up in front of the crowd, going, "Here, I got the bitch's rib cage."
Ugh.
That's not quite what I meant.
Thank
but
you.
That works. Okay.
Thank you for the rather pleasant image hovering in my head now.
We just went Resident Evil.
Hey, we just went Resident Evil and Silent Hill all at the same time.
Why not have her rip her spine out while she's at it?
Oh my God! Now we're going Silent Hill.
We just went to Plaid. We just introduced Mortal Kombat.
Sure. Anyway,
because you know, Ronda's going to basically destroy Alexa. That's what it's building to.
Here's what that match at SummerSlam needs to be, and this is why I hope Stephanie McMahon is not the special guest referee.
Oh, please, no. Don't do WWE and
where did that come from?
Because
it's been rumored. It's been rumored.
Hososeki, as MDS knows, and several people who have listened to the show know, it seems that WWE does listen here. Because they have taken several of our ideas and put them into action on either Raw, SmackDown, or pay-per-view. And NBS, you know this to be true.
I hate to say it, but yeah. A few times they actually did do what we say, or what we predicted, to be honest with you.
And that's and that's the scary part of it all.
That is a very scary part of it all. If they're listening to us and they just say, maybe this is actually quite a good thing to do.
This rumor,
maybe these two hacks have something to say.
This rumor exceeds this show. It's not just I didn't just put that idea out in the ether. So I'm not saying anything that's not already floating around. Just warning you. That's been in the sphere.
Is now it has some credibility because our MDS and my ideas have been used by WWE in the past. So you might have some credibility now, my friend.
Well,
us or him. Yeah, right.
I would like to think that I had credibility from the start because of my sparkling personality. Personally. But, I mean, this is how SummerSlam needs to go.
Okay.
Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss should last no more than 30 seconds. This needs to be Ultimate Warrior Honky Tonk Man from SummerSlam 88. Like, that's really... Bayley versus Sasha is your work rate match from Raw. That's the match that's going to be like the classic in ring. Ronda and Alexa Bliss, that is the Ronda steamrolls, gets the mega pop in the crowd, gets everyone up on their feet, just looks like $1 million, parades around with a title. That match any longer than 30 seconds. And anything other than the 82nd Airborne running in and destroying Ronda and giving Alexa some illusion of a chance. is creative malpractice. So,
creative malpractice. Wow.
So, just
okay.
throw that out there. And for the record, I'm trying not to retch at that uniform you're wearing. I'm just letting you know that.
Are you trying to puke on my jersey?
I'm trying to puke on your jersey.
Okay,
Yep.
whose jersey is it? Oh, shit.
It's a Liverpool jersey.
I wish I had my West Ham shirt, damn it.
I told you. It's going to appear somehow. Why not now? My allegiances is with this team.
Yes,
your allegiance is a house of lies.
Then what are you going? Then what are you supporting then for this season, then, good sir?
I'm not answering that. I'm just saying you support a house of lies. A den of iniquity is what you follow.
Since when has he ever told a lie? He only says that he will do it differently with the same amount of money he'll receive.
Pack of lies, sir.
Am I right? Or
pack of lies. You will never walk alone, no matter how much you may want to.
Yeah, I know that. I will never walk alone, no matter how much I want to walk alone. So.
Yeah, your bestest buddy is Sal.
And is he amidst everything?
Whoa. Don Sal is a Liverpool fan too?
Yep, he is.
Goddamn.
We did 2 shows before the Champions League finals. We're talking about. We spent the whole show those 2 shows talking about Liverpool.
Don Sal, you just lost your plug on the Commonwealth of Wrestling.
No, he did not.
Kiss my fluffy hairy ass.
You're
done. You're gone.
Ass.
Bing bang boom, you're gone. No whammies, stop.
Chotto mate.
Oh my God, no whammies. Is that tic-tac-toe we're talking about now?
No. Wait a minute.
Press your luck.
Well, do I need to also add that George is a fan of PSG?
I'm starting to think that I might be the only person in this little sphere of influence that has taste in sports. No, I can't say that. Taker's college football team is actually good, so I can't say that.
If I want to go on a similar,
I'm going to go on record right now and saying that Shootin' the Breeze will have a college football preview show this fall.
Yeah,
and it will involve you, MDS, and Biff and myself as we talk about how dominant Alabama will be.
I'm rubbing my nipples as we speak.
I have no idea what to talk about with college football. I have to do my research now. Thank you, guys.
It'll be probably in about, 4 weeks, Biff?
About a month from now, yeah, something like that.
Yep. And if I want to add the punchline, Taker's a West Ham fan.
I am.
Why?
Why not? That was my first exposure to Premier
EPL.
League.
Yeah, my first exposure, I didn't jump on board. Otherwise, I'd be a Birmingham City fan. Ew.
I had a neighbor who was a diehard West Ham fan, and he was able to sway me that direction.
West Ham fan. That's like voluntarily saying that I'm a Tampa Bay Rays fan. Like, who the hell does that?
Well, deal with it.
Taker is. Taker did the jump.
Look. You say being a West Ham fan is like being a Tampa Bay Rays fan. How about being a West Ham fan is like being a Chicago Cubs fan?
Oh,
and I'm a Cub fan.
Well, I can't help you on the baseball front either.
And as much as I love you, Biff, I am praying for one World Series in particular.
You want Chicago and Boston?
No.
Oh, okay.
I want pinstripes versus pinstripes.
Oh, get bent. Oh, God. No.
That would be the ultimate.
Please, God, no. Oh.
That would be the ultimate. Yes, as LL walks by, that would be the ultimate World Series.
No.
And to add some additional stakes, loser gives up pinstripes.
No.
In EPL terms, that is saying like, okay, say Tottenham, Arsenal, and Chelsea are fighting for, say, White Hart Lane or Stamford Bridge or the Emirates. Anybody loses will have to leave their stadium.
I would rather shave my head, dance around in a tutu, and kiss a monkey's butt than see the New York Yankees go to the World Series.
Let's just hope that it won't happen
for you.
The 110-win Yankees are going to lose to the Oakland Athletics in the wild card game. So,
wow!
Please,
that one game playoff, and they're going to be gone. My beautiful A's, who are killing it right now.
For those who need any indication of where my baseball loyalties lie, I've got a poster of Fenway Park up over my head. So
okay.
Well, let's put it this way: I will give you that, Biff, because Fenway is the oldest baseball stadium in major leagues. Who is second?
Wrigley.
Exactly. And what team plays at Wrigley?
Well, I'm guessing it's not the White Sox.
Oh. Do not make me Carolina.
Okay, guys. Okay.
Because you will be lynched at the nearest tree.
Hososeki.
Okay, go ahead.
We'll deal with the whole
Taker got the banner up right there.
Okay, but on your defense, though, Taker, and this is going on a completely separate topic altogether, West Ham are doing actually pretty well on the case of recruitment if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I will be checking it out probably in the next day or two.
Yeah, they're doing particularly well.
I have heard rumors that they're
recruiting quite aggressively.
Yes, they are. They want to be a force in Premier League.
Yeah, they are trying. They're hopefully trying to get up to the mid or the upper table, the upper side of the tables.
Yep.
I have no EPL team anymore, so I kind of joke around with you guys. I don't have a team anymore. I was almost becoming a fan of a team, and then the person who was introducing me to the team, we had a falling out, and so I kind of quit following that team. Became too painful.
Okay, who were you following? Who were you? Who did you came so close to follow?
I came, and this is actually quite interesting too, because the baseball and the football kind of parallel here. I almost became an Arsenal fan.
Ah, okay.
I almost became an Arsenal fan.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, my friend, he introduced me to Arsenal, and we had a falling out just before I could fully get the bug. But I'm a big Henry fan, Thierry Henry. Much love, mad props. Love you. You busted my cherry. So.
Okay.
Well, what do you think of the MLS now? And well, I guess we can get off of Extreme Rules because it was such a shit show.
There's 2 more matches, and one of them is actually quite good, and might probably be one of my main contenders of the match.
Okay, which one is it? What are they? Let's get it over with. Let's get it over and done with, because
one of them, because
in my opinion,
one of them,
from what I heard and what I've seen on highlights, this show was absolute shit.
Okay, one of them is actually AJ Styles versus Rusev for the WWE Championship match.
I can't really weigh in on this because I didn't see the match. I had internet troubles at the time, so I'm gonna have to bow out of this one.
All right.
I did actually see the match, so.
Okay.
And
so, what are your thoughts on it? I already said mine because I said that this quite possibly be my match of my match for the card.
no, I thought it was fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
There's just nothing that AJ can do wrong right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
number one, when people start chanting AJ Styles and Rusev Day before the match started, you're getting something good.
Yep.
Why did this main event?
Because they have another important main event. Which in your defense though, Taker, yes, I do believe that this one should have been the main event. Should have been. But on this case, I think it actually was an excellent start because, to be honest with you, these two men took a sleepy Pittsburgh crowd and had it buying into late match near falls and whatnot. This is just another example of how awesome AJ Styles is and how great Rusev is as a counterfoil to AJ Styles.
Yeah, and Rusev did some excellent selling.
Oh, both men actually did excellent selling in actuality, because to the point that they cannot and would not do their trademark offense without any sort of compensation or any amount of backlash whatsoever on it. Yeah,
very impressive, and I loved the story behind it of, Rusev, this is my chance. I'm going to win. I'm just going to win the title without trying to heal it up. And then,
do you actually notice that how as time goes by and as Rusev kicked out more, Styles gets more pissed?
Oh yeah. He was really frustrated.
Yeah.
So
I want y'all to see something. He just jumped out.
Wait, what? What? Oh, hi.
My buddy.
Hi, buddy.
This is the namesake. This is my buddy Caesar. Okay, down.
Okay. And that's enough of you.
That's enough of you.
He wants his BALL right now. And
okay.
Because our doors are open, he can't have it.
Fair enough. I mean, what else is there to say? If you guys actually missed it, watch it again. And if it doesn't actually sell you on the fact that this match was as great as it is, it was actually quite awesome. Maybe it's because I actually, before the whole thing, I actually said to last week that I'm lowering my expectations, and this actually exceeded my expectations. Why not? This was a great match. The psychology is there. The storyline was excellent. The placement of Rusev being the sympathetic. I hate to go say face. I hate to directly say
you
face.
You just couldn't help but feel bad for him at the end.
You just. I mean, with the history that all of us knew about how Rusev is being placed in WWE, his performance in the match itself against AJ Styles really made him a much more popular competitor. I hope so. Both men, but both men came out of it looking better. And the only nitpick, or actually a small question mark, is what would this affect Aiden English and Rusev as a unit as a whole? So
that's the lingering question, and
that is.
I don't know. That's why I enjoyed the story of the match so much, because it's Rusev trying to do it the right way, and then Aiden English tries to quote unquote help him out, and then
quote unquote help him out in doing the wrong.
That's what ends up costing him his opportunity, maybe his only opportunity. So, and then Rusev Crush was Rusev crushed at the end, and you just really, I don't know.
Rusev Crush was just completely crushed by the time.
Yep.
It's not in the way that he had hoped for. I sympathize for the man. That's just about it. He made me sympathize for him more.
And I loved the spot where he did the, half the accolade.
Yeah, the half-assed accolade.
He couldn't put the whole thing on because of his pain
injury
in his calf.
His knee, his knee gave out on him.
Mm-hmm. So he put on half of it, and AJ was able to get out of it, but it was still, I thought it was a phenomenal spot.
Yeah, it was. And of course, the other match that we have left on the card is the Iron Man match for the Intercontinental title. We have Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler, which, again, I'm not going to rag on it too much because the nitpick that I can pull out is the pacing of this one was all over the place, and somehow, surprisingly, both men showing exhaustion way too early. I mean, these guys are highly competitive, and we know that both of them have high work rate, and somehow both of them, even Seth Rollins for that matter, somehow looked gassed way too early.
Mm.
I mean, on my notes, I was saying, it looks like they downed a little bit 3 cans of awful Monster energy drinks, and then during the kickoff show, and then went through high spots, and then it got wasted. So.
Well, from what I heard, I don't know if it's any truth to it, but Seth Rollins, they moved on to some of the quick finishes early to try and get the crowd to stop their annoying chant.
Ah, yes. But adding that to 10, a 9, crowd.
Yeah. So I don't want to say any more on that because I think it's been beaten to death.
Well,
about crowds,
I have Hososeki.
Uh-huh.
God, that's funny how that works.
You just love saying Hososeki.
No, it's funny. And you and I talked about it before the show.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh and Philadelphia have always been in competition for one thing or another. And we all know what happened at Royal Rumble a few years back. And now Pittsburgh is like, oh, Philadelphia did that? Well, we're going to do this. And all the while, the one thing I was questioning, because I had seen that, is like, okay, what is Bruno thinking? Bruno must be turning over in his grave because he's from Pittsburgh. His family immigrated to Pittsburgh. He is the most popular son of Pittsburgh. And for the fans to act like this, no.
Pittsburgh should never get another WWE pay-per-view again. I'm just going to call it right now because they single-handedly destroyed our hope of ever getting something different. Vince McMahon now has cover to do whatever the hell he wants in the main event because he gave people what the fans wanted, which was someone other than Roman, and they still hijacked the match. So he's like, you know what?
Exactly.
Screw y'all.
Exactly.
Excuse me there. Yeah, it's what else can you say? Like Angel said, it's been beaten into the ground. So screw you, Pittsburgh, and that's all I have to say about that. So.
Yeah, and I think a common misconception with the crowd thing is a lot of people blame ECW for starting all of this, but the difference with ECW and some of the NXT crowds is they're reactive. So something happens, and that kind of turns you into enhancing the show.
Yes.
Where these just start out of nowhere because people just want attention. There's a huge difference to being, reactionary to what's happening.
I mean, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
When a member of Cage Side Seats makes a fan post apologizing for his city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the most popular fan posts I've seen in a while, that's for sure.
Remind me, who was it again?
Hold on. I'll get that in a second because it's been hanging around the top for quite a while. Let's see. Okay, got to find it now.
Okay, never mind.
Give me a
while
minute.
you go find Yeah, while you go find it, I'll put on one positive. I think I'll put on one positive, or probably just this would sound like a moot point. I think. With that being said, with the whole issue about the crowd, with that being said, the whole thing was set up to infuriate fans and create heat for Ziggler and McIntyre. Was it effective coming out from it and then coming into the Monday night Raw and the Tuesday night SmackDowns and whatnot for WWE week? Oh no, it's difficult to argue. It's difficult to argue that it did not accomplish that. Because in my opinions, these two guys, Ziggler and McIntyre, are an act gaining steam and getting stronger with every passing week. Putting them in a spotlight of the main event of this pay-per-view probably is a good sign as it is. That WWE is behind them, I think. Especially with McIntyre, I think.
Okay, I've got the name.
Belly to belly.
It's belly to belly. It's a Pittsburgher apologizes for the Extreme Rules crowd. 17 recs, 69 comments. And it's at the bottom of the recommended list currently.
Wow.
And as far as I know, it has not been moved to the front page yet. And I'm going to say it now. It needs to.
Here's my question, though. Is reactions like that necessary or unnecessary for?
What do you mean?
Having crowds that are intolerable like that.
No. I don't think so. And this is the current okay. I'm going to lay this out here, and it may not be very popular, but this is the current group of fans, and fans is short for fanatics, who feel that they have the right, because they spent their money and everything else, to hijack a show, which is not their place. Everybody wants to be like the smart Raw and the smart SmackDown after WrestleMania. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't, as far as I'm concerned, you don't have the right. It is a privilege to go to WWE shows, whether they be house shows or Monday Night Raws, Tuesday Night SmackDowns, or pay-per-views. It's a privilege. I always looked at it as a privilege to go to one of these shows, whether it be my local independent when I was young, going to see AWA, or when I went and saw WWE a year ago, February. It was my privilege to be there. And until the fans understand and realize that, we're going to continue to have this problem. And it needs to stop. Plain and simple. It needs to stop.
Biff, have you watched this match?
The main event, yeah. I mean, I'll give my thoughts on the main event in a second. Just to parlay on what Taker is saying, I completely and unequivocally disagree with Taker.
Oh, okay.
Why?
This is why. It wasn't the fans that started this war. Now, I'm not disputing the fact that it's annoying. The Pittsburgh crowd was annoying as fuck. And $5 in the tip jar, I'm sorry. The Pittsburgh, I'm not going to defend the Pittsburgh crowd.
There's no reason to, because
there's no reason to defend the Pittsburgh crowd. But
they were shit. And Bruno would say so.
Yeah. But here's the problem. WWE created this. So WWE has only themselves to blame. WWE is the company that turned itself into the villain of storylines for 2 decades and blurred the lines between storyline and reality. WWE is the company that completely rejected every historic metric of what the crowds want. They ignored crowd response. They ignored ratings attrition. They continue to ignore ratings attrition. They have completely tuned out and stopped allowing the fans to have agency in the decision-making process. And I'm sorry, wrestling is a business. The fans are the customers. The customer they have to have some agency in directing the product. If the customers don't like the product, they stop buying the product. And the onus is on the company to alter the product to satisfy the customer. Now, I don't believe that the customer should be violent about it. I don't believe they should go in and, scream dickheads at children or anything. I'm not saying that. Pittsburgh shot itself in the foot because they got exactly what they wanted and they still hijacked. There was no purpose in that. It's counterproductive to the fan angst. But the reason that we have these hostile crowds and the reason that this is a phenomenon is solely on WWE. And so I don't blame the crowds for creating the backlash. I blame WWE for not listening to the fans and forcing people to react this way. Because let's be clear how this phenomenon started. It started with the night after WrestleMania crowd that they were so sick and tired of seeing the same matches they'd been seeing for months that they started entertaining themselves because they had been apathetic toward it. They booed it. They didn't give a shit about it.
Was this WrestleMania 29? I was gone.
Yes.
I was not paying attention during that period. I came back around WrestleMania 30, but I knew it had started before that. But it was 29.
The night after WrestleMania 29 is the first night where it really... Well, no, I can't even say that. WrestleMania 28, really. The night after WrestleMania 28 was really the first one because that was the Daniel Bryan decision to have him lose to Sheamus in 18 seconds.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And the night after, the crowd was rowdy. They flipped the script. That was the first time that I really remember a crowd kind of going against the grain. But they were protesting. It was a protest against WWE doing the wrong thing. Now, WWE, to my eternal consternation, not only doubled down on the direction, they have continually doubled down. And so what they basically said was, screw you, your voice doesn't matter. We have your money. Either stop watching or shut your pie hole. Well, half of the crowd did stop watching. From 2014, their average rating over the summer months, I actually figured this out a couple of days ago, was around 4.5 million viewers. Now their average has dropped to about 2.5 million viewers. So we're talking about anywhere from a 40 to 45% attrition rate over the last 4 years in their audience. Almost half of their paying customer base is gone. And we know that they're gone because during the Raw 25 celebration, they came back. So it's not like they, have been consuming another direction. They came back for the Raw 25. Raw 25 shot way back up into the 4 million range again. Now we're back down into the 2s. Okay, so they drove those fans away. All right. The fans that are left, there has never been a higher proportion of hardcore fans than we have right now. And those hardcore fans are not going to be easily driven away because they feel like their agency in the product has been taken away. And so while on individual circumstances, I mock cities like Pittsburgh for doing what they did, it's not the fans' fault that this has happened. WWE created this monster. So,
but Biff, okay, and I have the heavy butt, and I'm playing devil's advocate. We can look at what has happened over the last 5 years. with WWE. And the minute the universe brings a particular character to the attention of WWE, that character in the end gets completely destroyed. Why? Because he's popular with the smart fans. And Fizz has brought this up more than once, that you need to stop. The smart fans need to stop doing this for the simple fact that that character that the smart fans like is going to be destroyed.
But why is that? I don't understand that argument. The fans like somebody, they gravitate towards somebody. Are you saying they should stop? They should pretend not to like them so that WWE won't screw them up? What kind of backwards logic is that? I mean,
I'm not saying that. That is the current attitude of WWE. Oh, you like Daniel Bryan? Well, fine. We're going to shit all over him. Oh, you like Roman Reigns? Well, we're going to shit all over him. Oh, you like Bayley? We're going to shit all over her. Oh, you like Asuka? You like Asuka? We're going to make her look like a fool. We're going to make Shinsuke look like a fool.
But that's my point. It's WWE doing it. It's WWE's fault.
It's WWE's fault, but the thing about it is that you don't think for 1 second that maybe the fans may have something to do with it. I'm not condoning what WWE is doing. I'm just giving you alternatives as to why they're doing it.
It is a tricky bit when you want to talk about
I can't,
because there's a lot of. I know
it's you what we're saying. If I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but what I think you're saying is that the fans have to realize that they're in a no-win situation,
exactly.
And they have to, and that is. And I'm sorry, but I disagree with that. I'm not saying it's not the pragmatic choice, but as paying customers of the product, they should not have to do that.
Biff, you and I are brought up old school.
Yeah.
How many times did our favorite, yours, mine, LL's, lose the payoff match? And how often were we pissed off as all hell and would want, if we could, would hijack the show? Here lies the thing.
Well,
it is standard operating procedure for a promotion to, in the end, screw the fan. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't say that you're wrong. I think that it's an incomplete picture.
But it's also the truth.
It is a truth in the extent that you need to bait the fans along to a certain extent because you want them to come back. You have to give them a reason to keep coming back. So yeah, I understand that.
Right now, WWE isn't. Because why? Because why? Fuck you. That's why.
Well, this is why I blame WWE for it. They are constantly dick kicking the fans, but they're never giving. The other side of that is historically a wrestling company has to give the heroes a victory. The heroes have to triumph at some point, otherwise the fans give up hope. And this is what has basically happened in the WWE audience over the last 5 years. Half the audience is gone. They gave up hope. And the other half is like, screw you. We're not leaving. You know,
well, all right. I see your point. Let us look at and I hate to do this, but the political controversy in the United States alone. Half of the country or 3/4 of the country does not like Trump. But there's a hardcore group that is behind him. And It's not going to change. It's no different. Vince is playing politics with his business. You want Roman to be the guy. We wanted Roman to be the guy 3 years ago at WrestleMania 31. Oh no, we're going to get Seth Rollins cashing in during a championship match that was a candidate match of the year. All of us can agree on that.
100%.
It was a great match.
I was there. It was just, especially being there live. I mean, back and forth. The whole crowd, the entire 76,000 people were focused, locked in, and at the end of it, I mean, they just did everything right to precision.
And they took everybody's heart.
Yep.
When Rollins cashed in. That was the beginning of the end of Roman as a viable character. And I'll tell you right now, in our political system in the United States, it's no different. One side or the other will find one thing to concentrate on. And right now with Trump, it's the Russian interference with the election, which I still think has no basis, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, just like Obama blaming Bush for 8 goddamn years that everything was his fault, when Obama was a worse president than Jimmy Carter, and I'm old enough to remember Jimmy Carter. Thank you very much.
Okay.
You know, Obama, it was always someone else's fault. He would never accept the blame for something that was wrong with this country that he created. It's Bush's fault, or it's Congress's fault, or it's someone else's fault. Okay? Yeah, I'm on a political platform right now, and I don't like to do this with this show.
So you're saying
that I'm going to get off of it right now while I have a chance.
Yeah. I heard LL in the background there.
Yeah.
Yep, she's right. She's right. I'll give her credit. But the thing about it is that it's no different WWE with the fans than it is our political process here in the United States.
Let me put this out there, and then I'll turn the floor over to other people, because I've said enough on this. But I understand the argument that you're making, the pragmatic arguments that you and Fizz make. I understand what you're I understand why you say that, and I understand the merit behind it. But I think the reason that I reject it in principle is because if I, as a fan, have to temper my fandom to protect a performer, like if I have to hide my fandom to keep a performer from being abused by a creative, then it negates the entire purpose of being a fan in the first place. It renders going to the matches void, because why do you go to a wrestling match live? You go because ostensibly you want to see certain performers. Like you pay tickets to see certain performers, and when those performers come out, historically speaking, you let the people in the back know you're there for this performer. Like if I am a huge Ronda Rousey fan, I am screaming my head off when Ronda Rousey comes out, because I want the people in the back to know I paid my $30 ticket to see Ronda Rousey. If we have been reduced because of WWE's policy towards its fans, where I have to hide my fandom because my fandom risks that performer's creative future, which we're all in agreement it does. It seems like that is the model of operation in WWE. Then I'm not going to the shows. And if I'm not going to the shows, that bleeds into I'm just not going to watch on TV. And I honestly think that's why you've seen such a reduction in the fandom. This is not just cable cutting. It's not just cord cutters. Because, again, Raw 25 proved there's not people that have gone away and are absorbing the product in a different way. They have lost half their audience. That audience came back to see what was going on for Raw 25 and then immediately checked back out. So they're still there. They're still out in the ether. WWE's just lost them.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up hope. They're like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm at that point right now.
Yeah, it's like, and so while I take individual cases like Pittsburgh and say, you morons, what the hell are you doing? At the end of the day, it's WWE that created this system. They made this bed, and they have to deal with the ramifications of it. I'm sorry. If I have to understand differential calculus in order to protect the people that I like to watch, screw it. I'm just going to go play video games. I'm going to go to a bar and sing karaoke. It's a lot easier to be a fan of something else and find something else to do with my time. I could go watch New Japan once every 2 weeks and be fine. It shouldn't be this difficult to be a fan. And that's
why I'm always a little bit okay. I'm fine with it.
I know you roll with the punches pretty easily, so
yeah. But in any case, I mean, we've gone way off track on this one.
I blame you, Pittsburgh. It's a damn Pittsburghers' fault.
Sure.
Place where you stick the hose for an enema.
Sure, why not? Well, okay. Let's just wrap this up quickly then. To those of you guys who watched, Biff and Jimmy, what do you think about the whole thing overall?
The main event or the whole show?
The whole show.
It had its moments, but it's the same basic problem. It's creative. It's just complete trash right now, and there's very hard to keep finding reasons to tune in.
Uh-huh.
That's bad basic.
Yeah, and towards that reasoning, I didn't even watch because on the West Coast, it's not live. It starts.
Oh, really?
It's 8:00 Eastern and 8:00 West, Pacific. So it's already aired. So I've already seen, unless I completely avoid the internet or Twitter or anything, I have seen what happens. Only if there's something that I'm really interested in will I totally avoid spoilers. But I still usually watch. But when I saw what was going on, I was like, it's not even worth watching. When I saw the results, I just didn't even want to get invested. So.
All right. Okay.
That's a great way of putting it. Don't want to get invested. That's
yeah.
great way. That right there says it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, in my end, anyways, it had its moments. It had its moments in its individual matches and all that. Some matches were great. Some matches were okay. Some matches were shit. Some matches were questionably positioned, in my opinion. Some matches deserve to be on the main card, while others deserve not to be on the main card. Probably push back on the pre-show would be better and all that, considering what we got on our plate. Like I said earlier on with the match between New Day and Sanity, individual brilliant matches should have not elevated this pay-per-view card in its entirety. So I enjoyed it because I put little expectation into it. I lowered my expectations into it.
You're good for that. You're good for that, MDS.
I'm good. I'm good for that.
You're the one that has gotten me into doing that.
Because it's not because I hate to put high expectations on something that I would like to watch, because no, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm just expecting this to be a crap show, so I lowered my expectation and found myself pleasantly surprised. I always do that. Concurrently, and somehow I find myself entertained watching the whole thing altogether. It doesn't say that it doesn't necessarily mean that I will do that always, because if I am looking forward to a match card, I am looking forward to a match card. I'll put my expectations high. I expect that kind of matchup to deliver. If it doesn't, well, I'm going to crap on it.
Well, let me ask you a question, and then we're going to get off of WWE and we're going to move on to sumo, because I know Biff wants to talk about it.
Sure. We have half an hour, I think. We can burn. Half an hour to 15 minutes. So go ahead.
Yeah. This is a long show, but it's because we had so many. We were cutting up, carrying on in the middle part of the show.
Yeah.
Go ahead. When does it become too much for us to drop our expectations so low for a product that should be A1 prime beef, USDA prime, and it's not?
You mean Wagyu beef, for that matter, too.
In your opinion, Wagyu beef or Kobe beef, for that matter.
Yeah.
Where's the line?
I don't know, but this is where I go. If the storyline is good, the feud intrigues me. If the flow of the match, if the flow leading up to the match is good, then I'll put my expectations where it's appropriate. Go ahead.
Biff, where's the line?
This is the only way I can answer this question is to say it like this. I have lost all faith in the main roster to get anything right on a long enough curve. I have no expectation about anything. I have no, belief that any one particular storyline will work out in the end. What I do is I watch the show for match quality, and the TV shows lately, you generally get at least one or two pretty good matches. If the storyline catches my attention, I will give them another week. I basically go week to week at this point. Like, the Bayley beatdown of Sasha intrigued me. And so I was interested to tune in next week and see what happened. And then I went into counseling and I completely lost interest. So it's a week to week thing. But there's
now if they don't get along Monday, Biff, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but if they don't get along Monday, one or the other is going to SmackDown.
The logic of the show escapes me. I don't get it.
And in my personal opinion, I think the one that would benefit the most going to SmackDown would be Bayley.
Bringing all the rage and all the hatred to her with SmackDown?
Yes.
I think they both could benefit. I think that, well, I don't know, because what is SmackDown's big problem? The heel side of the SmackDown women's division is very weak in terms of in-ring workers.
Well, it's the same way on Raw, but...
True. But, I mean, at least Raw's got Ruby Riott, who could kind of...
Well, who's out?
James is a heel.
Who's out with I think, a shoulder injury or something?
I think it was a shoulder injury.
Yeah, I think it was. But...
All right, Angel, what's the line?
I don't know. I mean, for me, I've almost been, come back to the point. I'd almost never watch Raw and SmackDown anymore in entirety. And it's not, I do have the spoiler factor on the West Coast, but, for years, I've always had that. And I always would still watch, especially SmackDown. I mean, that was never live before. But it's just nothing really captures my attention that, I'll watch the pay-per-views and just mostly for the matches. and see where they're going. But of the TV product right now, and a lot of it almost is the way that shows are produced these days. It's just such a cut and dry. I don't know. Every Raw starts the same. Every match is almost. I mean, they can be good matches, but they're laid out in such a way. Oh, someone starts hot, then they throw them on the outside, then it's commercial break. And
you've seen it once, you've seen it always.
Yeah, and it's really frustrating for me. Mm-hmm. So,
to me, there is no line because WWE has no clue.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Harsh critic. It's a hard critic.
Dude, you're talking to someone that's got over almost 50 years of watching this stuff.
I know.
All right, let's get out of this depressing subject.
Okay, we have about 15 minutes we can burn to talk about sumo.
Yes,
so what you sumo.
Got? First of all, I have a bone to pick with Angel.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I've been a bad sumo fan this last
and
couple tourneys.
I even asked you last night in the nightly, asking you, are you going to show up?
No, I was just asleep.
It was not 45 seconds after you made a post, so you can't tell me you fell asleep in 45 seconds. You're a liar. Do not lie to me, boy. Try again.
I may not have fallen asleep. I may not have refreshed the nightly, but
you know I'm picking on you.
Yeah.
But this basho it's Osaka, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, you are.
Has been the basho of injuries.
Well, you mentioned that last week, so yeah.
Yes. Kasina Sato withdrew bore the basho started. Hakuho withdrew on day 3. Kakuryu withdrew on day 4. Day 5, my favorite, Tochinoshin withdrew.
Yep.
We have had an injury caused. I can't think of the wrestler's name. Biff. I tried to get you to watch the actual bout that it happened in. It was a bad injury of a Kotanage throw. MBS, which we both know is the most cruel, gruesome, and vicious throw that can be done. Where someone's elbow basically was dislocated and snapped back into place.
Yep.
Last night,
yeah,
it was not something that was done on purpose. We all know that. But But last night, vengeance was served.
Vengeance! Oh,
yes, vengeance was served. Shiro Tayu stood up for his Bea and took Tamawashi out the hard way. Yes, it was a Yoda Kitty, but he made sure to throw him 2 rows into the stands afterwards.
Such a wrestling move and such a wrestling maneuver in a sense. But hey, it got to where he wanted to get.
But through it all, Sekiwaki Takayumi clinched the Yusho last night.
Oh, okay.
He wins. Yeah, he won in the Nagoya Basho. So.
No, it's Osaka. You're right. It's Nagoya. You are correct. My mistake. Where it's been damn near 100 degrees every day.
Yeah.
I have to say it.
Yeah. Let's be 100% clear. And I say this as a novice, so please don't assume that I know like a lot about sumo. But Takayumi, he deserved this. He wrestled at a high level from the start. I think that it's unfortunate that we had so many injuries that reduced the field. I would have liked to have seen what he could have done against, Hakuo or Kakuryu or even Tochinoshin.
Well, he defeated Tochinoshin.
Wait a minute. Tochinoshin had one loss, and I didn't think it was to Mitakeumi, was it?
It was to Mitakeumi. And that's where he injured his toe and possibly tore ligaments in his big toe on his right foot.
No, wait a minute, because Mitakeumi had the lead after. I could have swore it was someone else that he wrestled against.
I will check, but I believe it was Mitakeumi that inadvertently injured Tochinoshin. I may be wrong. So give me a moment. Give me a moment to look. Let's see, day 5, 5th day results.
Tamawashi.
Was it Tamawashi?
Yes. Yeah, Tamawashi is the one that beat Tochinoshin. And then Tochinoshin withdrew the next day.
Right, right. You're correct with the Kotenage.
Yep.
Another injury caused by Tamawashi.
Yeah, so you had both Yokozuna and an Ozeki.
No. All 3 Yokozuna.
Yeah,
because Sato is a Yokozuna, which if he doesn't show up and perform or compete at the next basho or withdraws during the basho, he will be forced into retirement because his dumbass did not get the surgery on his pectoral muscle.
Well, he was out from the start. He was never in the tournament. But Hakuo and Kakuryu, they both withdrew after arriving in Nagoya to compete. So we had basically, I know my pronunciation is terrible. I apologize, but
I think it was fine. Don't worry about
that. I'm crossing the redneck to Japanese barrier here. This is the Chuck Yeager moment for the show.
You're fine,
but it's you have such attrition at the top of the division that it doesn't diminish the basho, but I do think that it's a big what if. I would have loved to have seen what Mitakeumi could have done had he had a top competition, because he didn't have to go through Tochinoshin. He didn't have to go through Koryu. And it's disappointing that we didn't get to see what he could have done. Those could have been some very interesting matches, I think.
And there are people on certain, not so much on the stream I watch, but on others, that are saying that Mitakeumi should get his Ozeki promotion out of this basho.
I don't know what he's done the last.
Well, let's put it this way: if he wins today, he will have 30 wins over his last 3 bashos and a Yusho, a championship.
He's borderline then.
Kind of, sort of. But here is the thing: the press has not been talking about it like they were with Tochinoshin in the last basho. The commentary is not talking about it, and so that means that the Japanese Sumo Association is not even considering it at this point, because he will be, if he wins today, he will be 3 wins short of 33 over 3 bashos.
Has he gotten any memorable wins? Oh God, what are they called?
No, he hasn't won anything over the Yokozuna because they're gone, and he doesn't qualify for Kinboshi anyway because he's already in Senyaku as a Sekawaki.
I think honestly, he's going to have to get it done at the fall basho. I think before he gets Ozeki promotion. If he has another 10-win performance when they go back to Tokyo, then I think it'll happen. I don't think it'll come out of this. He needed this to get that championship. he needed the tournament win to give himself a chance.
Right.
I think he's going to have another top tier performance. Which, hey, if we're going into Tokyo in a couple of months, and there's no Tochinoshin, there's no Hakuo.
No. Tochinoshin will be back.
Okay, Tochinoshin will be back.
Tochinoshin's Karaban.
Okay.
Which means that if you don't get Kachikoshi or 8 wins in Tokyo, he will be demoted.
Okay. So
which is what Goedo and Takayasu were facing in this basho, and they were able to get Kachikoshi.
Okay. So Tochinoshin will be back. We're still waiting about the Yokozuna.
We're still waiting about Kasena Sato, although word is out that he's going to be on the tour.
Yes.
Do we know about Hakuo or Kakuryu? Are they expected back?
Not so.
They're not going on the tour as far as I know.
Yeah. They're still out. Jury is still out for them.
All right. So if he's got a realistic shot, then, because Tochinoshin that was already coming into this basho kind of hobbled a little bit, and then he had the injury which forced him out. So it's fair to say Tochinoshin is going to have his work cut out for him. He's going to have the pressure on him. So I expect him to do good.
All he needs is 8 wins to keep his Ozeki rank.
Which should be doable, especially if we're down 2 Yokozuna. If we're down 3 Yokozuna, then there's no excuse for him not to, unless he has to pull out again from injury.
Right.
No, not exactly. No.
I'm expecting only 2 Yokozuna to compete in the fall basho, and those are going to be Hakuho and Kakuryu. Kasena Sato will retire, and I'm sorry about the motorcycle noise.
Someone is having a fun time. I'm just saying, someone is having a fun time riding their motorcycle. So.
I just think this has been a disappointing tournament from the perspective if you're a Tochinoshin fan.
It has,
because he was on pace to do something really special. It's very rare, from what I understand, for an Ozeki, a newly promoted Ozeki, to have such a dominant performance in his first basho after promotion.
Correct. I was expecting him to get 10 to 12 wins.
And he was on pace.
I was expecting him to be in contention for the Yusho.
Yeah, if he had won this tournament.
Oh shit.
If he had won, which he could have given Takayumi a run for his money if they had stayed healthy, because he was undefeated up until his first loss when he got injured.
Exactly.
So it's not like he was struggling. He was doing very well for himself, and so if Tochinoshin stays healthy, this basho becomes way more interesting. If Tochinoshin pulls out a win in his first tournament, especially given the problems that the other Yokozuna are facing, that makes the next 2 tournaments very interesting for Tochinoshin.
Yes.
Because he would go into, the fall basho as one of the favorites. And if he has another 12 to 14 win performance there, now we're really into some serious territory if you're a Tochi fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that it's an unfortunate missed window for him due to the injury here.
I mean, the only thing that is just missing out from all of this is just that the sumo wrestlers around the sumo wrestlers roster are really in short of long-lasting, high-ranked sumo wrestlers in a sense.
Yeah,
most of them.
That is the problem. That is the big problem. That the JSA or Japanese Sumo Association is looking at. They haven't had a real long-term Yokozuna since Akebono, to be perfectly honest. Akebono was what, 26 when he became Yokozuna?
Yep. Around there and thereabouts, I think.
And he lasted for what, 7 years almost?
almost 8, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
And since then, they have been having a lot of these older Yokozuna. I mean, the JSA was so excited when they had 4 Yokozuna. And then we had Hiromu Fuji screw up.
Yep, they didn't count for Hiromu Fuji screwing up, but hey, it happened.
And then all of a sudden, Kasina Sato, Hiromu Fuji screwed up. Kasina Sato got hurt. Hakuho was having trouble with his feet. Kakiryu has been dealing with nagging injuries all year.
Uh-huh.
And it's not been a good year for the JSA, to be perfectly honest. And to be perfectly honest, I'm thinking partially, and this is me speculating here, that they were hoping that even though Tochi Noshin is 31 years old, the resurgence he's had in his career in 18 months, coming back from Makushita, he was Makushita 50, 18 months ago. All the way back to Ozeki 2 West. In 18 months. That's quite a climb. I think they were looking towards him to becoming a Yokozuna. And then he got hurt.
He definitely seemed to be one of the focal points of the coverage from what I saw. You would hear his name drop quite frequently during the broadcast.
They're still talking about him, even though he's out injured.
Yeah.
You'll hear his name.
Might be trying to break the Mongolian stranglehold. I don't know. I don't know if that has any play on it still.
I don't think it's trying to break the Mongolian stronghold, because I've had this discussion with Taker, and I feel like, in my opinion, I think, due to my limited amount of sumo knowledge, I still think that the whole culture thing with the Japanese Sumo Association still stands. If you do your time, if you do your job, and if you prove to the crowd that you are capable enough of leading JSA, they don't really mind about your nationality. Screw your nationality. If you respect the Japanese traditions, customs, culture, and everything that it has to do with every single traditional rites and rituals that had to do with sumo, then they'll accept you no matter what.
No.
Yeah. That's because I will say this. Sumo is not a sport. Sumo is a life. It's a lifestyle that they live. It is the life of a samurai. Plain and simple.
Yeah. Well, it requires, mind, body, it's discipline, it's technique, it's strength, it's skill, it's concentration. It's basically all the disciplines rolled into one, which is why I kind of fell in love with it over the last couple of months. It's basically the last 10 minutes, or last 10 seconds of a college basketball game, 15, 20 times a night.
Okay.
So it's like that 5 to 10 seconds of excitement. It's a tie game. You want to see who makes the last shot. That's kind of what sumo is for the 5 to 20 seconds that a match will last.
And the thing about it is that, and Biff, you'll agree with me. At the end of it all, and I have found myself more than once when Tochi was on his run to become an Ozeki. I'm sitting there at work by myself, middle of the freaking night, and I'm screaming at the computer.
Yep. Been there.
I'm clapping, I'm screaming. When he got his Ozeki promotion, I'm crying for this man. And I hardly know who he really is, but it's such an emotional release.
The first tournament I ever watched was the summer tournament 2 months ago.
Uh-huh.
I to this day, I still don't know many of the wrestlers by face. I have to have someone list their names because I don't speak Japanese, and I'm still getting familiarized with the top division wrestlers. I went from not knowing anything about sumo to when Tochinoshin suffered his first loss, I audibly screamed, "Oh shit!" Okay. I was so mad when Tochinoshin had that first loss. I still remember him eating the clay, and it was such a bitter pill to swallow. But that just shows you how, exciting it is to see, these guys go out there and do what they're doing. For Tochinoshin, the Ozeki run, watching him, have a shot right up into the last day to win, 2 bashos.
I remember what you called him the first time you and I talked about it. It wasn't Tochinoshin, it was Toshinoshin.
Toshinoshin, huh?
Toshinoshin.
Yes, that's what you called him, was Toshinoshin. And I said, no, Biff, his name is Tochinoshin. And you have gotten it right ever since. But that told you just how much I had invested in him, because he caught my attention in November of last year.
Well, the fact that he looks like he's built like a brick shithouse helps him. He has a distinctive look. I mean,
if you wanted brick shithouse shape, might catch your attention at Ichinojin.
Who?
The guy we make fun of, I think.
Oh, you're talking about Ichinojo.
Yeah, Ichinojo, not Ichinoshin.
Oh Lord, you talking about Mr. Flabby Titties? Is that who we're talking about here?
We don't call him Mr. Flabby Titties.
We're talking about Snorlax here.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
he's probably going to be dropped down to Komusubi again because
somebody forgot the pokey whistle.
Yeah. He is not doing well this tournament.
Yeah. Okay. Quick question before we wrap up on this one for you two, because I know Jimmy didn't really watch his sumo yet. Okay, so any early predictions that you want, and any predictions that you want to pull out for this season's basho, and then
it's already
what
decided.
Are you looking forward to?
Well, this basho's already decided. Mitaki Yumi clinched last night.
Yeah.
So you're talking about let's see, this is July, the September basho?
Anything you're looking forward to on the September basho?
I'm looking to see two things. I'm looking to see how Tochinoshin rebounds from being out injured. I'm hoping he comes back strong and puts up double digits and is in contention come the last 2-3 days. I'd like to see him win it to truly solidify his promotion, being worthy of his promotion. Mitaki Yumi, is someone you got to watch. He may get his Ozeki promotion out of September. I'm not going to hold my breath. And Abi needs to get himself together. He's had a real rough basho this time.
Oh, he did.
But there is one who has had even a worse one, and that's he's 0-13. Who is that? Let me look. No, he's actually 1-12. He won last night.
Yoshikaze?
Yoshikaze, yes. Yoshikaze, he's gonna fall hard.
He's at what, Mega Sugar 5 now, I think he was.
Let me look. I could tell you in a second. Yoshikaze. Yeah, he was Mega Shura 5. He's 1-12.
Okay.
He's going to probably drop down to like making sure 10 between 10 and 12. 10 and 13, somewhere in there.
I'm going to take a Babe Ruth style call my shot here.
Uh-oh.
Yes. I got 3 predictions for the September Basho.
Okay.
Mitake Yumi will complete his Ozeki run with 11 wins.
Okay.
Tochinoshin will rebound and will be in contention to win the Basho. But Takayasu takes it in a surprise.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, Takayasu is 9-5 out of this tournament. And with the possibility of Kakoryu and Hakuo missing the next tournament. And we'll have to see what happens with Sato. I mean, it's possible he shows, it's possible he doesn't, because nobody knows at this point.
Oh, okay. I'm going to throw a curve at you. How about it boils down to the last day? Both Takayasu and Tochinoshin are tied after the end, and a playoff match between Takayasu and Tochinoshin. Who wins?
I'm sticking with Takayasu. Takayasu takes it, I think.
Wow.
I'm calling my shot, so we can mark it down, and we can come back in 2 months' time when Takayasu is 3-11 heading into the final day.
Okay. Fair enough.
And his rank is a burning pile of embers over in the corner. So.
All right. Let's wrap this up. I've got to get to bed. It's after 2:00 my time, and I've already taken all my meds, including my melatonin, and I'm getting sleepy.
You think it's about your bedtime? It's 4:00 over here.
Where?
It's 3:00 over here, so shut up.
It's noon over here, so
it's 4:00 in the morning, guys.
4:00 in the morning Sunday for MBS.
I'm gonna throw anything and the kitchen sink at you guys if it reaches 5,000 miles away.
Mama's about to be home.
Yep. Even now I'm getting tired, but anyway, this has been episode number 53 of Shooting the Breeze.
Hey, whoa. We got a lot to do yet.
Yeah, we do have a lot to do, but hold on to your horses. I know my job. I know I missed out last week. I know that we missed out last week. Let's put on the plugs for the guest that has so graciously came in with the whole announcement chimes that you had just pleasantly put. So, Jimmy, where can they find you?
You can find me on Cage Side Seats, generally in the daily and the nightly, as One Winged Angel, and on Twitter, that's at AngelSeth, and here on your guys' lovely shows where I generally make the most podcast appearances. So mostly on Cage Side, though, always around there.
Do we still actually keep a record on how many people are coming into this one? I'm not really sure. Anyway, okay, Mr. Biff Kensington III, where can they find you?
You can find me on the Twitter at RealDealBiff. That's DILL, like the pickle. I am at Cage Side Seats as Biff Kensington III. You can find me talking history in the daily and nightly threads. Connoisseurs of Wrestling tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. TakersMinion, LL, and Biff Kensington, a.k.a. Chuck Worley. We'll be bringing another classic episode of Wrestling Wholesome Goods. It's the most fun you can have with your clothes on. Oh, and you can also find me on Tinder at Broken Hearted Redneck. So,
wait a minute, you have a Tinder now?
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have a Tinder profile here eventually.
Okay, I mean, no, you have to understand. Guess that he's usually frequenting the bar afterwards. Yeah, he does need Tinder.
Well, I'm single again, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then, okay. Then I have to. Okay, then I have to crack this on a good note.
The bar is going to be needed to drown my sorrows and.
Okay. But then again, okay, I may or may not have to share a little bit of pleasant good news, maybe.
You will. Not maybe. You will.
I will. Yeah, I will. Okay, I may or may not be engaged.
Either you are or you aren't.
I may or may not. I may or may not be. I are or I are. I are not. I am not or I am. But yes, the option is there. We are seriously discussing the option right now.
It's not so much an option. You just need to do the pop the question and see what happens.
Well, it's a matter of
Are you putting a contract together, or?
Yeah, we are putting a contract together. We're putting a paper. We're going to sign it. We're going to
be a contract signing.
Yeah, there's going to be a contract signing, press signing. Everybody is invited. We're going to do the signing at Anfield at the press conference right over there.
Oh Lord.
Anyway.
Okay. Where can I find you, Faker?
You can find me as always at on Twitter at TakersMinion. You can find me in the daily and the nightly, and I have a new thing that I put out in the daily now. It's called Match of the Day. It's Monday through Friday. I've put out 2, Thursday and Friday. I hope you guys enjoy when you find them. It's just me going around on YouTube and finding matches that pique my interest. And
basically you going around finding gems on the internet.
I'm trying to anyway. I'm trying to find gems. And they could be as old as 50 years and they could be as recent as last week. It just depends on what tickles my fancy when I look at them.
Fun. Tickles your fancy.
You can also find me on, like Biff said, on Connoisseurs of Wrestling every Sunday night. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, along with my lovely wife, Legends Lover, who is the curator of all things history for us. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this week's show is going to be a barn burner.
Why? May I ask why?
It's just going to
throw rocks at a man holding machine gun. That's why.
Yes.
Okay.
It has something to do with no, never mind. I'm not going to say what it requires. What it's involved with. Let's put it this way. Special sunglasses. And that's as far as I'm going to go.
Oh, okay. Anywho, as always, you can catch me on Twitter at Mr. Dr. Senju. That's MRDR Senju. You can also catch me. You can also catch me on the official Shootin Debris Twitter at Shootin. That's SHOOTINDABREEZ1 because some bitch still has Shootin Debris at its fullest. Who the hell does that? And you can also find me on Cage Side Seats. Just find me on Cage Side Seats.
We're waiting for that.
Yeah. Anyhow, we also have some other plugs that we wanted to plug into. We have our Cage Side Seats affiliated podcast, Not Your Demographic, with Stunning Stella named Erin, Keeping Up with the Kayfabe with Mark Riley, Jody May Esquire, and Jack King, and Bros Before Elbows with Anthony, Farron, and Tommy. Of course, aside from our Cage Side Seats affiliated podcast, we have our unaffiliated podcast with Cage Sides, but they are affiliated. Some of them are affiliated with us under the banner of Los Ingobernables Day podcast. We have Two Guys, One Sport with Crazy Chris Colgan and George Curtin Jerker at Saves. They had a lot of fun last week. This week, actually. They had a lot of fun yesterday doing their episode. And we have Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling with William 14 Fitzpatrick. He's somehow churning a lot of episodes nowadays. So catch that. Also, we have Violent Wrestling Podcast with Ambrose Ali and Prince Moxley Lopez, as well as a new show featuring Ambrose Ali herself, Ambrose Ali's Ramblings, which will be on
check your local listings.
Yes, check your local listings. Of course, we also have Match Fixing with Don Sal Guzmano on Cedar Bridge Media, Wednesday Night Shootin' with Tanya Rogers and Andy Baron Swift, Ruthless Aggression Podcast with Metal Matt, Connoisseurs of Wrestling with TakersMinion, Biff Kent, and the Lover, And another news, an affiliated podcast, is Sports Bros Incorporated, a new show with George Atsaves and Philip Dawson himself. Catch that. Of course, we also have MLW radio podcast that we need to promote with Something to Wrestle featuring Conrad Thompson and Bruce Pritchard, and What Happened When with Conrad Thompson and Tony Schiavone. And of course, we also have 2 other plugs that we need to plug. This is totally out of left field, out of wrestling, but please catch it as it is. One of them is actually affiliated with wrestling. The other is Big Rick Travels with Big Rick Steve himself. This is a podcast. This is a podcast, correct?
It's a live stream that goes on while Steve is driving down our highway, up and down the highways, moving commodities for us to enjoy.
Yeah, because he drives a big rig and he does, I think he records live. A large rig. So there's that. And of course, the other one is a Twitch TV channel. This is brought up exclusively by TakersMinion himself. It's Mbovo Sumo. That is MBOVO SUMO on Twitch TV channel. Go open Twitch on your internet explorer. Go open Twitch and find the channel. That's MBOVO Sumo. So there's that. Wow, that's a mouthful. That's a long list that I am going to promote. Anyways, this has been Shootin' the Breeze.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We have serious breaking news. Hang on. Breaking news.
Sure.
Adam Rice, your sports team still suck.
What?
Adam Rice's sports team still suck. That's Indians, Browns, and Cavaliers.
Why do I have the nagging feeling that he'll be coming next week just to voice out his opinion on that?
Only if he's allowed.
Anyway,
I also need to shout out happy birthday to Metal Matt.
Yes,
his birthday today. So
yes, it is.
How old is he now? How old is he now?
He will be. He is 23 now.
14? No.
No, excuse me. He is the same age as Patrick Clark, and I think Patrick Clark is still 22. So
maybe we should all say happy birthday to him right quick.
No, he's 23. Happy birthday to you, Metal Matt.
Happy birthday, Mr.
I owe you a lot, so I'll be coming and groveling later on. So, again, this has been Shootin' the Breeze, episode 53. Thank you so much for Biff and One Winged Angel, or Jimmy, who
My
came
pleasure.
over. Came over and brighten up the Black Parade that was going in here.
Yes.
Yeah. We needed it. I do need it.
Yes,
I won't lie. Yeah, I need it. So it has been fun. And for TakersMinion and the 2 guests that I am Mr. Dr. Senju. This is episode 53. It's done. So I'll see you next week.
Yep. Episode 53 is done and complete. See you guys.